Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I am here with my guest host, Trish Munoz. Trish, how are you doing this evening?
I am alive and kicking.
Alive and kicking. Well, I don't know if you saw, but we have the title here tonight as Morgellons in the Supernatural World, which I would believe and would like to believe that this is going to cover a large variety of things going on in the Morgellons world, and not necessarily just those with Morgellons. There's an experience going on, a phenomenon going on probably in many different what's considered the conspirators, thoraties. I got to use that code word. A lot of communities with just different things that they're experiencing, like UFOs and the diaper faces and the vacation and nations, and so there's a lot of people in different things that they're just now waking up to, and still not under the understanding that these things are interconnected. They are. Right. There's a lot going on, and more than they realize. Most people realize. Some realize that there's the interconnections there with all of it. But I would like to start tonight by discussing what you and I were talking about just a moment ago, which was about how we have had with this Morgellons disease. My friend Sheila, that she's been on here. Sheila Roeder, also yourself, myself. I believe Candy Nelson had even said the same thing, where you experience this, you can actually feel and see the movement of a serpent-like entity or being or organism or something within our bodies that we can feel move without our bodies and literally wrap around our necks almost as if choking us out. Yeah. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, sure. Well, that started with me in 2014. It was kind of a literal explosion of sorts in my body, and I got poked in the chest, and I think there was a cyst or something in there, and it just exploded in about 10 different directions. And that same night, I talk about this a lot, something flew into my mouth, and the next thing I know, I am coughing up what appeared to be some sort of slug, and I drank a boiling hot cup of tea because I was so terrified, and it popped whatever it was, and this disgusting yellow goo came out, so I thought I killed it. And the next thing, my godmother and my fiance were standing there, and all of a sudden something came up, wrapped around my neck, and started literally choking me, but you couldn't see it. You could see the indents on my neck, but not the thing itself. And they were standing there, like, I've got witnesses of this, and they couldn't do anything. They felt so bad. And from then on, it just kind of built upon itself. I don't know quite how to explain it, but now it's there very much. And it started out kind of small, like maybe that thick, and it's gotten to be about like this. And I mean, I've proven that many times, and I'll do it again tonight. But it's good, crazy.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Well, first of all, I'd like to say hi to Sharon Johnson. I love her to death. She's like one of my old-time warriors. So she's here with us tonight. Beautiful woman, and I think you heard her testimony also. So
yes, I've talked to her. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's amazing. And you told me you got in touch with her, so that's even more amazing that you and her spoke, right?
Yes.
So, okay, good deal. Yeah, I told you she's pretty awesome. All right. So with that said, Trish, we don't have a lot of individuals here yet. I'm looking, we've got 6 viewing right now, which is fine. But I was going to see, we might have you do this again during this podcast. If you would show your, the areas in which, that you feel like that is happening.
Well, that popped up very much so right there. And all I'm doing is that, and it's getting bigger.
Yep, and it'll get bigger and it wraps around. Yes, I can see that, and that's happened to me.
I don't even need it for that.
Actually, you don't. Yeah, that's a good angle there. So
now it's going down a little bit, so I'll show the other side.
Yep, and it wraps around, right?
Yep, it sure does. Oh, dear, there it is.
Yeah, I can see that. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me 4 years ago.
Right back there.
Yeah. And Sheila, bless her heart, she's experiencing the same thing.
And that thing is huge. I mean, I've had people, I will say this, I have had people tell me that they think that is a fat pad. And I laugh.
No, it's not a fat pad.
Sorry, because since when do fat pads move by themselves?
Yeah, I mean, they could have said the same thing to all of us, but we know our own bodies, and And when you see them clearly moving, and they do move, and I have went through the exact same thing. Sharon, I don't know if she has or not as much, but she's experienced some bizarre things. We know our own bodies. I mean, there's just no doubt. And then the forehead thing.
Well, I used to know my body.
Yeah. I've got the forehead thing going on. You guys saw my last video.
And I'm actually burning over here right now. I've got a lot of
mine goes in
burning
my hairline like that and between my eyes, and I think they look out through our eyes. What do you think about that?
Oh, I know they do. I have had, oh my God.
Yeah, I see that.
I have had in this right eyeball.
Leave your flashlight there if you wouldn't mind, just so we can kind of watch. Because I think
I've had a spinning thing in my eyeball for a few years now. Here, I can make this. Come on.
Yeah, that's the typical what I experience right there.
I see it. See that?
Sure do. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so just so people can tell, that's all the reason I wanted you to. And it's not because we're doing a show and tell and we're a circus. We're doing this to educate people, and it's important.
Yeah, I am not a circus freak, seriously, but
right.
What was I don't remember what I was saying, but
that's okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I interrupted when I asked you to show it a little bit longer. So when did you start experiencing that with the serpentine? And I think my friend Sheila explains it kind of as a serpent, and I have to agree with her. It feels like a serpent wrapping up.
It a snake, always.
A snake, yeah. She says snake, a serpent, same thing, but that's what it feels like. And when you take pictures, if you contrast those pictures, you can kind of see the structure of a snake, right?
Yes.
I know Sheila has some pictures she sent me, which are just crazy.
That's what it was.
What's that?
You asked about seeing through the eyes. That's what it was. I had an experience where I was staring at the wall, like just looking straight out, and something blinked behind my own eyes. Like it blinked. It wasn't my eyeballs. I was looking and it blinked. Yeah. And I have had a spinning in this eye. There's something that spins like it's black. It's a black fan. That's all I know how to explain it. In my eyeball, I've been to brain surgeons. I've been to eye specialists. Nothing. Nobody has ever heard of this. It just spins constantly. Sometimes it'll be counterclockwise. Other times it'll be the other way.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm looking at it right now, and I keep looking up in rooms to think, I think there's a fan on the ceiling. But
actually, I can kind of see your eye move now that you say that. But mine, I've experienced the same thing. They told me
my eye goes all the way up here, and I don't even realize it. Like, I mean, I've had people tell me that my eyeball actually just, like, the green goes away. And
it wasn't like that before, was it?
You know, about 8 years ago is when that happened. I know the very night that happened. And
right. So what most people don't understand is how painful most of this is, and what we're actually experiencing with it.
Yes, I had something when it came in the eye. It went actually through my eardrum here, and it was like a hard marble type thing. And people saw it. Like people saw it running around in my stomach. People saw it up here, but this one hurt. Like that hurt so bad. I was screaming in pain when it went into my
that's what I feel is the pull from my ear canal to my sinus cavity in my eye area.
Yep.
And then the third eye area, where most of us have a lot of that experience, like you and I both have the exact same kind of
right there.
Because two lines coming down, and then you can I can see it right there, and that's what mine does too. It's just insane, and people are like, "Oh, you guys are crazy, or you're this or that." Well, we're here to tell you.
My nose is so crooked.
Well, you look beautiful to me, but I can't really see it.
It never used to be like that. It broke my nose. I literally had a broken nose. And
bless your heart.
There's like a band. It's a banding system. It's very complex.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, you've been through a lot. I've followed a lot of your posts and whatnot on Facebook. And I mean, my heart went out because I knew I was there. I've been there, done it. And I was just all I could think is like, we are going through so much with no help. Nobody that, even our own families, nobody that reaches out and even tries to believe or wants to believe. And the thing is, it's like, you would think they at least want to believe. But the funniest part is none of us know one another. This is something, it's worldwide, and it is just streaming through this earth right now so fast and people don't realize that, they're affected already. And I mean, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, it is worldwide. But back when this first started, I couldn't find anybody. I still can't find anybody who is completely like I am, like as advanced, if I can put it that way. Just because of the systems that are. Well, anyway, the point is, I felt so alone for so long because I couldn't find anybody who even had anything like this. And that's when I
do.
I was gonna say, I think when I found you and I found like Crystal Trip,
Sheila too.
people that knew what was going on, I was so happy. And I hate that anybody has to suffer through this, but I'm so happy to know you. I'm so happy to know people that have this now because it's you know.
I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. I've turned it around. I just made a choice one day. I turned it around. I'm blessed. I mean, it is hard. It's tragic. It shouldn't happen, especially when we're so alone and we have each other. But the funny thing is none of us are close enough to each other, that we can, it's like almost like they purposely separate us apart as we wake up and, spit this stuff out of our bodies. But I am blessed every day because you are a beautiful being and you have brought blessings abundant to many of us. And Sharon is too. Sharon, we love you. Sheila, Candy Nelson, Candy Griffin Walker, Carl Schultz. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I mean, literally. Seven Smith, I believe, is what she goes by.
Yes.
So and Jackie O'Neill. I could just go on. Jackie, you guys are blessings, all of you, such blessings. And so now there is something else that goes with this, and it's a side of Morgellons, what most people would think that are experiencing that side, which is a targeted kind of interest. And I have to be careful with my wording, but they call it a targeted community with certain things that are happening to them by the dark side, so to speak. And those individuals, I don't think they realize that this again, it all interconnects. You are one to testify and have a testimony on the fact that yes, indeed, it does connect because you've experienced both sides, as I have, and others, many others have. But would you like to touch base on that for everyone and just to kind of let them know what we're speaking of and how that happens, or what the experience is like?
What the experience is like.
Well, it's unique to each of us, because I know for sure, like every targeted experience is most certainly unique.
Well, I think that I was, quote, targeted my entire life, but I woke up to it in 2014, the same time this all happened, because, and it's funny because people think that, well, oh, you just read about that, so it happened or something. But what they didn't understand was I was experiencing all of these things before I ever read anything about it. And I only found out about the communities because I put in my symptoms. I'm like, I am not crazy.
Exactly. That's how I found out.
I knew I wasn't nuts, but this was still happening. And I'm like, my God, it's the Twilight Zone. But
exactly.
the targeting is very different for every person. We all share common similarities, but it's different reasoning, different people doing it. It's not, everybody just wants to say it's the powers that be here in America, but it's not.
I got you there.
And anyway, so that I don't know exactly what you want to know. I mean, I'm willing to talk about anything with that.
What kind of experiences were you? I'm sorry, I just changed the name of this to Morgellons and the Targeted World.
Sure.
Because if you think about this, no matter what the phenomenon is, whether it be UFOs or Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster or anything like that, it seems like it's all a targeted aspect to some respect, because not everyone experiences those things, just some of us. So it's targeted to, some of us, who I guess I want to say is awakened. But
well, I will tell you, it tries to make you think that you're going insane at first, because there's a lot of us. I was the only one I could find, and now I'm finding others. One of the first things that I experienced was hearing chirping, coming from a room, which sounds like a dying smoke detector. And I would hear this, and it would sound like, and then cricket, like it sounded like a cricket or something like that. And
I experienced that same thing. Yeah. With the chirp, like a smoke detector going dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so crazy that you just said that.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yes, ma'am. I know what you're saying. That's crazy. How about the small, maybe aircrafts, or the, did you ever get the vehicles that followed? Maybe you have the white or black and super shiny and clean.
I had white and black Jeeps. white and black Jeeps were the ones that were following me the most, and it actually caused us to have a car accident at one point in the wintertime. We could have died, and it literally was driving in front of us, and then it turned around and span so that we either had a choice to run into it or the guardrail.
Yeah.
And so we chose the guardrail. Thankfully, it didn't total the car. But oh yes, I experienced what they call, can I say the words, gang stalking? Because
yeah, I mean that's something that's on YouTube, and it's not like we're no stranger to the rain on that.
right, and
So that's the thing that you say. Now that you say that, here's my thoughts on that, because you experience, certain vehicles per se. Others experience like the shiny black SUVs, so to speak. Some others, men in black. Some others, actual individuals or humans that they think are maybe humans, and maybe some are, because there's possession. Others like airplanes and I get the black helicopters nonstop.
Oh, that flies out here all the time, and
Well,
I've actually
the black helicopters are in the Aluma to the Nazi cards in that game.
I've experienced the drones. That there was one that was voice activated, and I know I have proved it. I had 3 people come to my house to prove this to them at night, but the thing would sit there. It was a weird color too. It was like orange. It wasn't a normal one. It was small. I think it was remote controlled, to be honest. But anyway,
or if it maybe was holographic to some respects.
Yeah, that's true too. Right. But it would sit there until I would start talking about it, and then it would literally fly right over the house, go into the woods over here, and it was silent. It was completely silent. And yes, as far as the gang stalking, it was not just vehicles. I had actual people. There was something called street theater, which is basically
hired folks to go make up a little act there for you,
and making a lot of ruckus, like a dramatic event to happen, and then when you will go by, they'll all stop and stare at you, or you start
repetitive stuff that like makes you feel it starts getting on your nerves and targets the nervous system.
Exactly. So, and I started hearing every single noise that had ever annoyed me from childhood up, and it was happening in succession.
Mouth noises, clanking of the dishes, stomping of the feet, honking of the horns. I get the revving of the engines. The revving of the engines
is big for me. That something has been watching us since childhood, because it was everything that had ever annoyed me happening all in succession. And
how odd is that?
It does a number on your fight or flight kicks in, and
you got 2 choices. It is fight or flight, so you can tell who the fighters are, though.
Well, the one time, this is who I used to be. Well, the one time we were being followed, and I figured it out and knew it for sure. I had her stop the car. I got out of the car. I turned around and chased them down the street on foot. Like, I used to fight this because, I mean, that wasn't right. And that was before I knew about the targeting. Like, I knew we were being followed. I didn't.
Yeah, didn't know what was going on. I know. I did that. I confronted a man that followed me all over town at a gas station. I said, "Why are you following me?" He's like, "I wasn't." I said, "You're not from here. You're in a Hawaiian shirt. You're in Sealy freaking Texas. Nobody dresses like that around here. And your shoes definitely aren't from here." And he just looked at me and blinked. And I said, "I suggest you get in your car and don't follow me, because I might be small, but I am mighty."
That's right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is crazy. But some of this, Trish, my thoughts are, and I don't know if you feel the same way, we all know that there's a lot of that stalking going on. There's channel after channel. If you guys want to look it up, just Google it. Don't Google it, because it's going to tell you, like, that's not true. It's just considered a conspiratory theory. Okay, I got to say something like that. But if you go on YouTube or just DuckDuckGo, guys, I mean, just go there and put gang stalking, put targeted individuals, targeted communities, and you will see hundreds and thousands, if not in the millions by now, of accounts. And here's the thing. I think if there's so many of us that experience this, okay, number one, we couldn't possibly have enough human, physical help to target each and every one of us. So I think that a lot of this could be holographic. I've experienced the headlights of cars coming at me, take a picture or video. As soon as they get up to you, they're just gone. And another thought is there is a spiritual aspect side to this, because I have had the red and blues behind me, like they're going to pull you over. And I mean, you're watching very diligently in the mirrors, making sure, okay, I pulled over, got my blinker on, I'm on the side of the road, doing everything you're supposed to as a non-crazy woman or person does. It's like, check that. Okay, everything's good. Seatbelts on, fastened, secured. Looking in my driver's side mirror. And, as I'm pulled over, safely waiting, not sure what I did because I wasn't speeding or anything. And this is just one instance.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm just rolling my window down because I could see almost like as if a door opened because the red and blues kind of flashed for a second, like a shadow went through it by. And then nothing. There's nothing. And I mean, I'm in a rural area. It's not like I was in town, but I mean, I'm in a rural area, but there's lights enough to see that I could have. I mean, there was something, somebody, some car with red and blue. It was there and then gone just like that. That was the first time, and I'm like, maybe I am freaking crazy. Maybe I do need to be in the loony bin. Until I obviously started talking to thousands of others. But I mean, the red and blues are my target thing. So do you have a specific that happens with you? And the black helicopters, those are my two big things.
Well, the one thing I would say is the tinted windows on certain cars. It's always tinted windows.
Shiny clean.
Yeah, the white and black Jeeps. I don't get that kind of stuff so much anymore simply because I live out in the woods. But they found different ways to infiltrate even here. And it's basically here, it's like the different, like, for example, you hear all these birds chirping and you'll look and there's nothing there. Nothing. There, yeah. There's no birds.
No birds at all. Yeah.
I know.
It's like, I really I'm losing it.
But the thing is, I can prove about 80% of what I say, so I don't really worry about it much.
I couldn't at first. I was terrible at capturing it because you do know how they kind of divert you from being able to do so. But you get really good at tricking them back and actually capturing it because I've got tons of videos.
Well, I will tell you, I just got evidence of something that has been harassing me for months, and that is every time I go outside at night, there is all of a sudden a white flashing light, like those 50s flash bulbs. That's what it looks like.
Kind of like my red and blues.
And it comes from the same exact spot. And I'm out in the middle of the woods. There's no bike coming. There's no car there.
Yeah.
So I mean, my dad thought I was nuts. So I finally got it, and I took a picture of it, and you can see it clear as day. And I'm sorry, but I don't know why who was standing there doing that, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just know we don't have enough tax dollars to pay all these people to go out and just terrorize thousands and thousands of people. Like that's not even possible. So that's how I finally figured out it's something much bigger and greater than just that. Don't get me wrong. There are some humans that are involved, whether it be, like there's basically demonic, infestation, so to speak, or just they pay them off with something, whoever they are. But I mean, it also doesn't make sense that we have enough manpower to do that.
Yes, and they also use blackmail for a lot of people who have been incarcerated.
Well, the higher ups too go through, I think, a lot of that blackmail. I think that's why some of them are just no. Morgellons doesn't exist. Like the C to the D to the C, see you later. No, Morgellons. I mean, these are people that's probably threatened, blackmailed, and I mean, it's been going on for years, and Hollywood's like that. So yeah, you're right. I believe that.
We all came forward. There's too many of us now for them to say it doesn't exist, But the thing is,
it's insane to think it doesn't.
It just makes me angry about I don't know how you feel about making it recognized as a disease, but it kind of
it's not a disease.
It's not, and it bothers me to no end because it's just going to become another way for them to make money.
I hate saying it every time I have to say it, but that's why you always hear me go because that's what it's called. That's what somebody named it. But I mean, it is not a disease. You and I both know what this is. It is bio to the. Oh, that was hazardous. That was.
No, I know what you're talking about, and that is what this is in the and that's the part I didn't tell you was the thing that's
that is the Kundalini that they say, your chakras. That's what I'm understanding. But I mean,
because it came from the bottom of my spine originally.
That's the chakras. That's what I actually I've heard this, and I don't know if that everyone's like wanting to have that, like open up your chakras, raise your vibration, and I'm sitting here thinking I don't want no damn serpent going up my back and into my neck and. It doesn't make sense to me.
But see, this thing has come into my mouth, and this is
jaw,
why
the neck, the eyes.
Yes, and because I had to have my teeth removed, they didn't fall out. I had them taken out.
Yeah, because they love to live there.
That was, well, it was that, but that was where, with the targeting aspect, there is a torture aspect to it. And I went through that for 15 years with my teeth. Just white hot, blinding, screaming pain. And I have a very high pain tolerance. It takes a lot to get me to
yeah, me too.
You know, but they refused to take my teeth out until there was absolutely no hope.
Bless your
And
heart.
then, but my point is now it was able to come into every area of my skin. And I'm constantly like pushing it down, and it's a nightmare. I mean,
I remember doing this to my neck, trying to push that serpentine, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, people, if you're doing the, yoga, or you're trying to open your chakras up, I know there are some of you out there that's like, it's your awakening, you're opening your third eye.
No,
I'm glad to be awake. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't ask for this. And this thing that goes up your spine, which is in your medical insignias and everything like that. I mean, like two serpents, like going up at the post there. I mean, that's basically the same thing that people are feeling in their bodies and their chakras, starting from the groin into the midsection all the way up. And I mean, I don't believe it's a good thing, because it's, number one, it's a serpent.
Not.
The serpent called him his belly for a reason. I don't know.
The difference between what they're expecting from the Kundalini, that's more of a spiritual
Kundalini,
thing, I think,
thank you.
Yeah, because that's not what this is. I don't believe that at all. I know it came from the base of my...
It starts at the spine, though, and it seems so strange. And it's like...
It does, but this is going to sound nuts. But I remember when I would sit down in the car, it would pull like this, like I was sitting on it. I mean, I'm not kidding. So it was some sort of... And there's
like an entity or an organism or something, right?
But the thing is, there's a lot more than one. And there's different things. There's little small things, and then there's these big things, and there's some in between. There's a lot of things going on.
Many. I got you there. That's why it's confusing as to the chakras and the Kundalini. But I mean, I still think the Kundalini kind of goes hand in hand with some of it, because I used to think it was cool, like, oh yeah, I'm more awake. But I mean, I don't know, something in my heart always told me don't do it.
What this is the bio to the W.
Bio to the W, yes.
And
I mean, it does, though. It wraps around the spine, and it goes up to all the vital areas that you need to be able to thrive and live. And and I know my friend Sheila, Sheila too. I saw, she sent me pictures, red snake, black snake. I mean, and clear as day, you can see them. And for people to not be able to see that, I'm like, somebody needs to thump you upside the head, because how can you not see that? I mean, I'm going to do it in 2.3 seconds if you're not careful, especially if you call us crazy ever again, because I'm over that. I mean, there's too many of us now. There's more of us than there is of them, and they don't want to cross us anymore. It's the wrong thing to do.
That's right.
So, do you want me to show those? Would you like me to show those? Or you got them to show?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me take myself out here. And
oh, no, I don't. Do you want... I don't... You're
can you do it from your end, or I can do it from here? Maybe.
I don't think so. I can't. I don't believe I can.
Okay, let me do that then. Hold on one second. I didn't know if you Candy Nelson was able to do it one time, but I need my googly eyes, and they are messy googly eyes. Hold on. God, I am like, my face is getting all flushed. I'm a hot mess, man. It's not even hot though. Hot is the wrong word. I am just a mess.
Oh, you look beautiful.
Oh gosh, I ran like a mad woman. I got to leave out of town again tomorrow.
Okay.
Just like, okay. Here we go. I think I got this. So let me get this on. We're gonna share it that way. Okay, is that showing up? I'm gonna have to probably go in and put it up.
I don't.
Let's try this a different way. Hold on. Oh, oops, where did I go? All right, there it is. So let me maximize this here, and I'm going to minimize this. Here we go. So there we go. There is one of them. Oops, that's not. There we go. So, okay, so you want to explain like what we're looking at here? This is one of the first pictures I've got here.
Those are some of the lesions. The one in the very top is the one in my neck there. I actually have that one there right now, but those are, And
I can see that, which we just saw even worse than that, actually. And that's higher up than what yours are right now. So that's how you know it moves.
Yep.
I mean, you guys, that's obvious. Go rewind this later and look. I mean, it's obviously.
And there's a bite
it's not a fat or fat pocket or anything. I mean, look, it's moved. It's a different spot there.
That's right.
So, wow.
There's just some more. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of lesions. Yep. Well, I don't know if I showed you this, but I mean, I can relate, but this is one right here. You see this like serpent looking thing? I don't know if it's showing up or not, but
I don't see it yet.
Yeah, I probably got to do something different here. It's probably, I'm going to have to do it different. So I'll show you guys in a second. But I mean, okay, so long story short, I'm going to put you up. Go ahead and explain, like, because I know we had you on before, but I mean, I don't think a lot of people got your whole story. What old were you? Where were you? What happened? And just, I know we're going to recap for some. What happened that you first noticed that you had this, and what strange things were occurring? Once again, if you don't mind.
Oh no, I don't mind. Well, I used to have Graves' disease. I don't have a thyroid anymore, and that was how it pretty much started. When I had that removed, I knew it was wrong. I was not supposed to do it, but I did it anyway. That was about 2011, I guess. And shortly after that, that's when I realized that certain doctors were not being honest with me. And like I said, I was sitting on my knees on the bed, and something, it looked like a fly, but it was incredibly sharp like a stone, flew into the back of my mouth when I was in the basement. And I couldn't get it out. It stuck into there, and it seemed like it expanded. I believe I know what that is, but I've had, I'm sorry, I actually have notes because not my brain.
No, read them. Like, we're human. Like, please do. Just take your time and relax and just read them.
Okay. Like I said, it took time for my neck to get this taken over, and it was, I had shaved my head at one point. I was completely bald, and I could feel when I was walking like strings hanging down my back, but there was like hair, but there was nothing there. I actually had an experience where something felt like a tripwire went up this side of my face. It dislocated my jaw. To this day, it's not been put back. Like I said, you can see the shapes all over my forehead that it makes. There has been people who saw balls like this running back and forth in my stomach. Like I said, I have witnesses of this, so I don't mind saying it.
Right there with you. Right there with you.
I went to the emergency room probably 20 times. They don't do anything. And the one doctor did take a scan of my chest area. He came and asked me the funniest question. He asked me if I swallowed metal. He said I had what looked like
because everyone swallows metal, dude.
God. I know, right? I know.
Stupid ass. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a new thing. We're all doing it. Everyone's doing it. We're swallowing metal, idiot.
He said it looked like I had metal rods in my chest. The word he used was rods.
Yeah. That part, I believe it looked like that, but what an idiot to ask if you swallowed metal.
Yeah.
He should have been like, we need to get you into surgery now. He's almighty.
There's some things I just, that's when I started noticing the targeting aspect at the same exact time, because everything just started looking, how do I put this?
Different patterns and shapes.
Saw in front of me kind of glitched, like, you know how if your computer screen glitched, that's what it looked like, coming from my eyes. And I mean, I'm not nuts, and I'm, you know what I mean, like I believe that there is a demonic component to this, that like the pathogens, the parasites, whatever you want to call it, are
like this one. This is me screaming in pain right here, by the way.
Yeah, I see it there.
Yeah, you can see it. Like, I don't know if I get this bigger or not, but yeah, I mean, like, this was my neck. So yeah, right there with you. I mean, you can see this thing wrap up around me, and I mean, it did some flipping crazy things. You see that going up straight up there?
Yes.
It went straight up on me at one time, and into my ear. It hurt so bad. But people, if you don't think this is real, I can't make that stuff up. I can't put that crap in our body. I mean, she can't, I can't, we can't. I mean, you see all this shape, and look at how it widens out like a cobra almost. This is my neck.
But
and then it turned dark.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say, was that at one point, the skin on my elbows and the soles of my feet turned completely black and rotted off. It fell off.
Yes, ma'am.
I was completely raw. It was like, that was not good. I was
I hear
bedridden.
you.
I was bedridden for a time. I used to be. I mean, I don't eat a lot, but I have gained weight because of this. A lot of it is the inflammation, to be honest. But I was
Yeah.
very
Well,
thin
yeah,
at
it's
one
not real
point.
weight either because a lot of that is them,
Well, I know
their
that, but people don't
biofilm.
believe that.
That's right. This is a little guy that came out of me too, and he was not little actually. I mean, he was about the size of what you're looking at. Well, you can't tell what you're looking at because it depends on your
That
screen.
looks
So,
like a
like to be
tapeworm
smart about this, it's
almost.
about 2 inches long actually. But I mean, that was probably one of the best pictures I got of one of those fibers, quote unquote, quote. Like that would have been probably one of my best pictures of it.
Right.
But I mean, they were on everything, everything,
Well,
and everywhere.
I have one of those LED lights that's like green and purple, and you can see them everywhere on everything. I mean, there's no point in even. I don't even try much. I mean, I keep things clean, but I don't even try to obsess about it anymore because you're not going to get them all.
That's right. I mean, they're there. I don't even try anymore. I'm just getting used to learning how to live with it. But I mean, I thought I was dying in this. This thing was killing me, wrapping around and getting tighter. And it was awful.
Sharon just said something in the chat.
Yeah, read it, please.
She said, during my weird flea infestation, there were small insects that would fly into my mouth also. Yes. Yeah. And that still happens. I still will hear like a fly buzzing and gnats will. I don't know if you had any experience with gnats or not.
But yeah, big. I still sometimes like, this is gonna break my heart, but this is my dog here that it was all over her. So yeah, Sharon, and yeah, absolutely, those gnats were horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
They are because
so did your animals get it too?
Well, I used to have 14 cats. I've always had a dog until we moved here, and now we don't. But
Sharon's gone through this too. Yeah.
Yeah, so. And the cat is probably the reason that.
Have the addiction too.
Oh.
Well, she's the one that passed away a couple of weeks ago, but this was about 5 years ago. But you can see the markings, like they attack your animals, and I had her all free and clear. It was horrible though. But
they will torture the animals. My son.
Yeah, my poor baby.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, this breaks. This is the first I've even looked at a video. I'm sorry. But yeah, they do. They torture him, and it's just miserable. Sorry, I can't watch that right now.
It's okay. My son got a dog 2 years ago, and she was just too big for him. She would knock him over, and he would start crying because he just wanted a puppy to play with. But this dog at night, you could hear her just screaming for no reason outside, and then she became like, okay, this is another thing, gonna sound nutty, but I have witnesses. I would hear this high-pitched dog whistle, and all of a sudden, this dog's name was Angel, by the way. She was a black lab and German shepherd, and she would, at the sound of that whistle, jump up, grab onto you, bite you, whatever she had to do to try to pull you to the ground. And this was just a puppy, but she was a big puppy. But I mean, this happened over and over and over and over, and we had to get rid of her.
They know. Animals know, right?
Well, they do, but something was going on with that dog, and that
they were hurting it.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. That makes me so angry that the animals are so innocent. When the
lady came to pick Angel up, Angel was head shy, and nobody had ever hit that dog in my house. Like, we don't do that. I've had animals my whole life. That's my thing. But something was hurting the dog, and it wasn't us.
It's heartbreaking to know that they go through that.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have to, but and for the longest time I blame myself, but I'm like, it's like, we know that they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I mean, these things are, I mean, that's why the public, I think, acts so crazy weird, They're just not normal. I mean, like I showed my wrist last weekend, but I mean, they can look at this and like a doctor look at this and just think nothing of it,
really
like because that doesn't make sense to me.
Nobody can.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. How can they look at your body doing these things and like this light here? Like, how can they look at that and say that?
There he is.
I mean, and they're like, well, I don't see it move. It's like, what the freaking A? If I had a Thanksgiving turkey in my skin, it shouldn't be there. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Or if it moves, it shouldn't be there.
Charlotte, I need your help. It's blurry.
All that fiber optic stuff, and how do they look at this and so I mean, and here you go, guys. If you don't believe in targeted individuals or UFOs or Morgellons, I mean, you got another thing coming. This is in your face shit right here. Sorry,
don't you?
but I'm sorry. I mean, I was begging for help to try to video it. My daughter just thought, I want to go get school clothes shopping, and I'm just thinking like that worries me. Like, this is weird human behavior. We're dying from this, and
well, the doctors, the good old doctors are told not to help us, basically, and
yeah, they have to go by code.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. If it's not in their code book, it's not going to help.
If they got to go by, that's right. And but I mean, if I was a physician, I walk off the damn job. I was like, first, do no harm. What happened to that? Like, you guys are killing us. They're letting everybody die at this point. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be morbid, but I mean, what else can we say? Like, it's pretty in your face stuff right there.
Well, I was fortunate to at least see. I thought it was the most awful thing to have them not believe me and everything. But like I said before, there is something worse than that, and that is having them see it and believe it, but not do anything about it. That's 10 times worse.
Yeah,
and
watching us suffer. Yes.
The one doctor finally kicked everybody out of the room, and she looked me in the face and she said, "I can't help you." And she said, "But do not stop pursuing this." So
good. I've never had that kind of luck.
They know.
Yeah, I'm in Houston, Texas, Sealy, to this area. You will not find a doctor here. But think about it. I mean, the CD to the D to the DCAB is here. I mean, they didn't recognize fibromyalgia. Does anyone ever think about the first part of the name, fibromyalgia?
Oh, I know,
or cystic fibrosis, or all these things that didn't exist before? It's like, this crap's been around forever, but it's just doing some mutations right now, big time. But I don't know if it's of this world or not. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, it's pure nanotechnology that came from us. And if it did, okay, that's great. But where did they get that technology? There's something going on, man.
I will say this. Weird. I'll take a cue from the way you talk and say D to the A to the R to the P to the A is an asshole.
Excuse me. Yeah. And the C to the E to the R to the N.
Yeah. But the one that I said is
the one you just said is probably head honcho there. Yeah.
The one that I said is what I believe flew into my mouth.
Right.
I found evidence of what they are, and there's lots of information. You can ask me anytime, and but I didn't know that then.
What are they? Because I've had those. I mean, I have them on. Like, that's something we all
black
experience.
fly-looking thing that is sharp as a stone is some sort of a. I don't want to say implant, but I don't know. It's remote controlled.
I mean, that's what they self-assemble inside our bodies, though. So it is basically that. It is that. It's implanted in us. It's in us. So
thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
I know that's what it was. I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt because I've actually seen them after that. And
I've taken them out, many of them, and there's no explaining it. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
Actually, I think I have a photo of one.
They hurt. They hurt.
They hurt so bad. So bad. They are like, it shouldn't be happening. I mean, that's all I know is it shouldn't be happening.
No.
But what people don't understand, like, there's a lot of people pulling those self-assembled implantations out of their physical forms. Let's put it like that.
Oh.
And there's a lot of people that speak of abductions.
Well,
and I think that a lot of people are actually experiencing this. I mean, my friend Sam. I mean, I have quite a few. I mean, people. And have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
You too. Okay, so and see, I don't have a recollection of anything like that. But I believe, like, there's nothing I wouldn't believe anymore, especially if it comes from a Morgellons friend's mouth. I know what's going on.
Well,
so can you explain like what kind of experiences you feel or had, or because I mean, I've heard a lot of these and I believe every bit of it.
Well, the first one I remember, I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I will just go on record to say that I am someone who is a sensitive, an empath, and I also can see things that a lot of people can't, into the and spirits and things like that, since I was a child. And
me too, yeah.
So I would always hear something coming up and down the stairs at night, and I just kind of went to sleep usually. But this time, I felt something come in the room, so I turned the other way, and all of a sudden something grabbed me on the shoulder as if I was grabbing you right now, and I turned and looked, and it was what appeared to be a solid black thing. Like it was like
a shadow man or shadow person.
I call
or
it shadow people. I don't know what else to call them.
Yeah, shadow people. I've heard that. My foster sister used to sleep with me, and she'd see the hat man wearing a hat. He was a full black figure and he'd stand at the end of our bed. I believed every word she said because she was petrified. Like she was white as a ghost, grabbing me so tight I thought I was going to bleed.
Well, when that thing grabbed me, I blacked out.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what happened after that, but I woke up on the floor, which is really weird. And I would always see, scary stuff. And the thing is, I had no support from my parents even then. I ran into my parents room. My dad got so mad just because I woke him up and he chased me out of the room. And I mean, sometimes my mom would intervene and I'd be able to sleep on their floor or something. But I mean, I couldn't. My whole life, my first memory is being terrified.
I can't. I've heard that so much, and I mean, there's no way that there's too many of you and of us saying what we say. But I mean, your story and others with those kinds of experiences. I mean, there's no way you guys are saying the exact same things and none knowing another. And some people are idiots out there. And they're like, well, they could have saw it on TV and then they just wanted attention. Blah, blah. What I have to say to that is you guys can just shut up. I will come over there and make you shut up if you ever say it to me or any of my friends, because that is bullcrap and you do not deserve to even breathe on us if you're going to treat us like that. The end. But I mean, I can't imagine what all you've been through with this.
This
and you've told me some crazy stuff that's just not fair. It shouldn't happen to you or anybody. But I mean, anything else you would think you want to share as far as, because I know usually what happens is when we get done, it's like, oh man, I should have brought this up or whatever. If you want to take your time to think about it. Because I know that there's a lot of stuff that you could definitely help others with that are experiencing these same things. And again, a lot of it I'm experiencing, not all of it, but I mean, I see the unidentifieds every single day in the sky. And if anyone with half a mind would take the time to get their nose out of their damn phone and look up once in a while, take a picture of it with your stupid phone if you got it. But if they would just pay attention, they might see that their sky has changed. I mean, significantly, right?
Well, yeah.
It's just okay, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. And this is important because, and I typically wouldn't even care to show this, but I think it's important. So you've noticed how the sky is, right? And the placement of our sun and our moon and the things that they are doing, or I don't know, just the way that they're acting, I guess. You've noticed all that, right? So I'm thinking, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can do this entire screen thing here. Okay. I'm going to try to share this whole screen here and see if this makes a difference here. But does anyone remember, back here, got to get it up first. So here we go. Okay, that is not going to be a big source. Let's see what this works like, though. That's not going to be it. Does anyone remember what color the sun used to be, though? Anybody at all?
Yellow.
Yeah, or, what pictures did you color in school? Yellow, orange, right? Red, right when the sun was going to set. Here's what I don't get. So nobody seems to look up and notice this here. It's still not coming up, so I just really a horrible, person showing I should never be a teacher like this. But I mean, okay, so here we go. Maybe not or not. So not's working for me right now. Let's see if some comes up. It's not, is it? Why is that not working? Let's see. Okay. So here we go. All right. So what is this? I mean, how is this our sun? I mean, what do you call these wispy clouds? Because they have a name, it's okay. And when on God's green earth at 5 o'clock, this was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By the way, west is this way. This was kind of a south west here. That's okay. Everyone's like, the winter solstice. I mean, you guys haven't flown to the moon. You haven't flown to Mars. You haven't even been in a spaceship. Don't try to tell me what it is, because just because somebody else told you what it is or where it is or where it's supposed to be, You don't know crap. You took another man's word for it. Use your own mind, your own eyes. I don't even care if you fly to space or not. You don't have to. Look up. Just look the freaking A up. Look up. It's easy. Does that look yellow to anyone, or orange or red? I mean, this is not normal. No. And this little, they're like, that's a halo. Oh, the dog. That's a dog. What do they call it? A sun dog. It's a sun dog. I'm like, oh, it's got a name. Cute. You guys, it's got a name. It's a sun dog. It's a sun dog over here. A sun dog in the house. It's a sun dog. It's fine, guys. This is not fine. This is not fine. You're reflecting heavy metals up there. These are reflections of heavy metals. That's your sun doggy. So just because it has a name, I don't care if you call it Hildegard. You can call it Bert, Ernie, Hildegard. I don't give a flying rat's ass what you call this. But this little coloring in here is not okay. This isn't the sun. The sun, that's not whatever it is over there. This is a sun doggy, by the way, a sun pup, I guess. It's a sun puppy.
In 2017, did you see the two suns?
Girl, I have pictures of it, and in the video,
Okay, cool.
And I have it straight up on video. But this is not how the sun's rays even act. In what photo? Go ahead, dig deep. Go back to your years before photos. Go ahead, pull those mother suckers out. Just pull them out. Take you a gander of them and tell me when the sun that's now white did this or anything else. And I mean, don't call me stupid or silly until you look, and I mean look, because this, my friends, is not okay. I mean, the sky, like, look at those clouds. It's a wispy cloud or whatever you want to call them. But this stuff, this is man-made. It's man-freaking-made. Wouldn't you say? Or alien-made. I don't know. But it's not supposed to be like that. And I mean, I just want people to just look. For the love of God, just look. Get your nose out of your phones and look. It's simple. All right, I'm done griping. But you know what I mean? It's like, why are they not looking? I just don't understand. Like, are they like? I do understand. There are fibers all throughout their brain.
It's the same concept with the stars, though. I remember crying my eyes out when I realized that most of them are fake now. They're gone.
They're gone. That I thought there was time. There's some gonna still wake up. Like my family, I love them, and I've tried to where I'm at the point. It was like, God, I'm leaving this to you. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. Please wake the sleeping. Please wake them up, because they have been fooled. They have been conditioned, and their eyes have been blinded this whole time. They don't even know their own true history. They have no idea. They look at these big, magnificent buildings, and they've never, ever once questioned, now, how the hell did a population of like 9 build a freaking huge ass building with statues, gigantic and to perfection, with a horse and buggy and like 5 men? I mean, they just don't think. And I didn't think. I didn't know either, right? But there's so much to this. And the rabbit hole, it's a deep that's a deep one, isn't it?
I think that we have to be aware of the fact that so much of this is distractions, though. Because there's things we're supposed to be doing to detox our bodies, to get rid of the heavy metals, and that's a process that takes a long time. And
well, how do you even do it when everything's contaminated?
Yeah, that's the hard I was just going to say, some of us have so much metal in that I don't know how it's possible to get it out.
Well, I mean, it's coming from the sea, the air, and the land. It's like what you drink, what you eat. I mean, everything is touched. And when they say organic, I have to laugh in the face of organic, because what is that? How would that even exist? Because you look on the ground everywhere and you see it. It's like our cattle and our swines and all livestock of all sources eat that. They drink from the water sources that also rain down. And I don't know if you've ever taken pictures of the rain. You can see the nanotech, the colorful nanotech all in it.
I do have a video. I don't have access to it right now, but I made a video a couple years ago of the snow out here, and I made a snowball, and then I took a lighter and I tried to burn it. It turned black. It wouldn't even melt. So
I think there's several videos out there. Yes, ma'am. You need to find that. I'd love to share that with you.
Oh, sure. I can find it. Yeah.
I think everyone likes to see that, because it is true, guys. You can't make the stuff up. And the little diaper coverings over the face, when they were trying to show you like what's in them, or when the little swabby schwab. Well, once it goes roundy inside your little orifices, and they say those little fibricles are in there. They're not lying. They're not. No, look at my previous video before this.
Every time I don't know how they don't know. One of those, I would get a sore throat immediately, and Also, we have our aura, if you want to call it that, our energy field expands exactly 6 feet around us. So how far away are we supposed to stand from each other?
6 feet. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know
we
that.
can't connect. Yes, because when you enter somebody's
Yeah.
energy, it's 6 feet all around you is what your
Makes
energy field.
sense. Makes sense. And I didn't used to believe like people like you can manifest these things. It makes sense because the manifestation happens with the energy and the connections. That makes total sense now. Because if you think about it, how many times have you thought, man, I wish this would happen, and then it did, or you think about something negative that you wouldn't want to happen, and then it does. Manifestation is very real too, and that energy, the connective, I guess the community that walks around you, that you pass and exchange glances with, that's an energy, whether you like it or not, that's interconnecting with yours, which is good. But 6 feet apart makes sense to me. And 6 feet under comes what? Probably next.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, it's like I'm not going to blow smoke up anyone's rear. If you're here for comfort and just a hug, you've come to the wrong place. If you want a hug and the truth, I'm here for you. I'm your girl.
Right.
You want the truth? I'm going to give you a box of tissues. That's about the best I can do, as well as a hug. But I'm going to tell you like it is, because it's time to like put on the full armor, man. Put it on. Put on your full armor because it's coming. The time is here.
Well, and
draws ever so near.
Frankly,
this Trish,
yes.
What do you have? You have family around you too, like a lot of us, and that have experienced these negativities with it. Have you went through any of that with yours as well?
Went through what with them?
With the family kind of not also being there to support you. I mean, it goes back to everyone's affected, but I mean, have you had any support at all? Because I've bless your heart, I've seen some of your pictures and suffering, and it breaks my heart. And even though I've done the same thing, it breaks my heart for us. But you, my dear, are just a beautiful soul. So,
well, thank you. So are you. And I do not get support from my family whatsoever with this. I think my mom believes more than she used to, but there's nothing she can do for me. So, but she could make it easier. But they're in a different place right now, and I think, I'm more being judged by my family than loved.
Yeah, so. Me too. I think that's the thing we all are experiencing, right?
Yeah,
I'm just always trying to figure out our common out. Like, what is it that makes us different? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is it about us? We have military members in our family. I know that's one of the things.
Yes,
a lot of people talk about bloodlines. Bloodlines. You need to talk about that.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, your bloodline is important. Some people try to brush it off, but I mean, it explains a lot. And on my father's side is completely military background, every single one of them. And I'm talking my biological father. I was adopted, and that's why I know I was born like this, is because when I was adopted at 4 months old, my adopted parents came to pick me up. I think I'm pretty sure I told you this. They're brand new.
Yeah, you told me, but I think the world would, need to hear this.
Well, when they came to pick me up for the last time, their brand new car engine blew up, and 6 months later, our house burnt down to the ground. And after that, I got deathly sick, and I had to have 5 spinal taps. My mom heard me screaming the whole time. Just different things. I had 3 eye operations when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and 2 of them was to correct one of these eyes was a lazy eye. And years later, like 5 years ago or something, nobody could remember what the 3rd operation was for. So I'm like, okay. I called the hospital where I had it done, and I asked for that person. They looked at all their records. They told me they'd never heard of him.
It's crazy.
And
so crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just things like that my entire life, plus finding out, about my blood.
So
heritage.
did you ever seek out your birth parents? Do you know anything about that background? I mean, again, this is helpful to others because I know there was a time when we had orphan trains, which also had family, right? So I'm just trying to see if there's a tie and an interconnection here with that as well. And it seems like everything does interconnect somehow. So, but modern day and antiquity, right? I'm just trying to see if there's that. So you did find them.
Yes, I did. It was funny because when I was 12 years old, I think it was 1997 in June, and all of a sudden I said to my dad, "You have got to go find her, my birth mother. You have to find her now, now." Like I just was urgent about it. I had no idea why.
Yeah.
And years later, I found out that was the very month she died. So,
Oh.
she was murdered, actually, funnily enough.
Oh, bless your heart. You've been through so much.
Well, the
So
thing
much.
is, I didn't know that until I was 17, and when we went to, or 16, I'm
It's
sorry.
still.
And that was like my lifelong dream. That's all I wanted was to meet her because I thought maybe she will love me. Like, I mean, I know that sounds pathetic, but that's what
No, it does not sound like. No, I think
well,
that's
we
something
went
we
there.
all crave and need.
We went there and found out that she had died. The caseworker like did this triple take of me because I apparently really looked like her, and um that just destroyed me, and I went into this downward spiral for a long time after that. But
That weighed on you heavy, didn't it?
oh yeah, and I found my birth father. I have two brothers. One of the and my older brother Damien just died in November. He yeah. Anyway,
Well, now I'm going to do this for you right now because it's important.
sure.
I'm going to bring up a bright side, okay? Because look what we're going through here on Earth right now, right? This
Yeah.
is not a good place. So, and I know this is not comforting. But I mean, I'm just putting this out there because I've lost people, and I've tried to turn it into like, thank God they're not having to go through this right now, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a day coming. There's a day coming that you guys are going to be reunited, and it's not going to be in this disastrous
Right.
place that it's just so down, and it's going to be on an angelic level where it's all happiness and bliss, and no more sorrow and pain, no more. It's all gone, and it's eternal. So, and I know we can't fathom it as humans. It's hard to, but girl, you and I are fathoming some things that we never thought we'd ever even have to endure. And you, especially since you were really young. So if you know that that's happened to you, and it's obviously possible, then there's a creator, and there's a day coming that you're going to be reunited with all of them. Everybody, your current, your past, or everybody that's here now, that we all go. But I just want you to know you're loved, and she's looking down. She loves you, and she did what she had to do then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she knows you're talking about it. She knows you're here. Across my heart, I feel it. Actually, I know it. And ask Candy Nelson. She'll tell you. I told her things about, and I don't know how I know these things.
You and I have that in common.
Sometimes they come to me. So, I mean, it just happens. But that's why I put myself back up here, because I want you to hear this. It's important. And I don't know what the circumstances were, but I just know that at the time that was the only choice, and it wasn't like ever that you weren't loved, and she's waiting for you. She's waiting for you. So that's one thing I know. And I mean, I hate to say stuff like that because then I'm like, false prophet. I'm always thinking about like, how does that look?
You and I have that in common, and I thank you for saying that.
It's a strange gift, but it's I mean, it happens, and I don't know why. I just know.
And I believe you probably have other abilities as well, because we're all supposed to be telepathic. They tried to shut that off, and that's part of it. I have had a healing gift since I was a little child with my hand.
The Bible talks about spiritual gifts.
Mm-hmm.
It does. The healing gifts. I think that's something Sheila was talking about.
When he said to cultivate the gifts, I don't believe he was talking about playing the piano.
Cultivated no. Let's go there. Let's go. I'm going to pack my lunch.
Yeah.
And field trip.
I mean, I have this also like strange strength at times, and this.
Oh, you and I did talk about that.
Yeah, this is pretty cool because I have so many witnesses of this, and that are still alive. And the one time I had, can I tell the story quick?
Oh, please tell it. No, take your time. People love hearing things that are, number one, important, but there's so many of us needing to hear this, so please do.
Sure. Okay, so I was living with who I call my godparents in Michigan, and they are stamp dealers, so they went out of town for the weekend, and I was there, and I accidentally locked myself out of the house, and I didn't have my key on me, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to go in the window and have the neighbors think I'm a burglar climbing in somebody's window. So I decided to bust down the back door, not knowing that, and I did. It was fine, but then I found out they had these locks up and these blocks and everything that was meant to keep out a 700-pound burglar. And I just busted the door down.
Bust it right down. You're like, oh, not on my watch.
I did, and it's like,
That's
and
awesome.
the same little bit later, we took a tour. We were driving from Michigan to here. We had rented this white Chevy Impala, and we were coming here. We went to a rest stop, and he put the car in park, took the key out when he went to the bathroom or something, and her and I were standing there, and the guy that was sweeping up the parking lot was there. And all of a sudden, I leaned on the car and I started pushing it right out of the parking spot. And
God, yeah.
the last,
I would say that's a gift.
The third
that's
thing
a gift
is,
in itself right there.
The third thing is the same person, my godmother Lorraine. Lorraine Stanton, she'll tell you. I got out of the car I smoked cigarettes. It's my one vice left.
You know what? We all got a vice, and I do too. And you guys don't like it, you can eat it. So
Right.
eat the cigarettes. No, that was weird. Never mind. I'm gonna just
you couldn't deal with all this without something. It's like you just can't.
It is hard. Yeah.
I have coffee and my cigarettes. Those are my two things. But
I hear you.
We were in the drive-through someplace getting food, and I got out of the car to smoke a cigarette. I don't remember why I went to her driver's side, but it was a Ford Escape. She ran over my foot, and it didn't even hurt me. I didn't even feel it.
Didn't shatter your foot either?
No.
Well, I think Candy Nelson and I have talked about that, how like my arm was not just broken, it was broken like clean there, clean break, and then 2 fractures in here. And I mean, nobody else can see what I'm showing you because I got you up on the screen, but I'm just showing you and I didn't go to I went to the ER to get just a brace because I didn't have one.
Yeah.
But, I was supposed to go to ortho. We heal, miraculously heal so fast, right?
Well, yeah.
Sheila does. It's crazy, but we also suffer.
Like when I was young, the bruises would heal real fast and the cuts that you would get. But
the scars, yeah.
See, you're talking about a fracture. I had a fracture on my left foot, and I actually fractured it twice in the same spot. And they said that I would have, they gave me a cast and then took that off, but I had a boot and a cane. They gave me a cane. And he said that if I didn't have surgery pretty quickly, that I would not be able to, I'd be walking like this for the rest of my life. And I went back to the house that night, and I swear to you, I saw something. It looked like a black, I don't know what it was. I'll be blunt. It looked like a black wire, but it was in my foot, and I looked down and I watched it go directly to where that fracture was. Within 24 hours, I was up and walking like nothing ever happened.
Self-assembling nanotechnology.
It has,
no matter what. I believe that's what's healing
us. The point is, I was going to say, it has the ability to help us too, to heal us.
Yeah, they don't want their host to die, right? There's an Airbnb at the top of the line here.
I don't know if any of you remember Alex Volinsky, but he was the guy that invented, so to speak, the words Ropeworm. He was the one that put it out there. And
I did not know that name.
Ropeworm. Well, that's kind of what
look into that
things are. Well, yeah, please do. And
what are they called again?
Ropeworm.
Oh, the ropeworm. Yeah. I thought you said Rohan.
Oh, no, ropeworm.
Okay, no, ropeworm was the first thing when I started looking into what was going on with me. That was the first thing that popped up was the ropeworm.
Alex.
And then the horsehair too, but the ropeworm was the one that stood out.
The big thing with me, I think, is in there. But that's a different story. But the ropeworms. I have talked extensively to Alex Volinsky on the phone, and he was talking to me about how you can turn it around so that they do what you say. It's not the other way around. It's and he has a whole video about this, about mirror imaging, and do you want this to be good or do you want it to be evil? You have a choice, and that's the way he presents it. And it really made sense to me, because if we know we're that powerful with our thoughts, with our words. So
yeah, there's some things we can do. So that makes sense.
So why you know what I mean? If you could turn it around so that they would help you, or
manifestation. That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah. Manifesting, if you dwell on the snakes coming in your body and wrapping around you like I did for a while, you're going to have that a lot. But if you dwell on it it's okay, you guys are going to go away and you're not going to bother me. Literally, I'm not going to lie. I didn't take any oral consumption or change my diet. I literally willed it away by turning a negative into a positive.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. And I'm going to bring up a subject with this that, speaking of which, the horse hairs, I just want to say, I used to have this thing where you could take your hair out and put it against something and it would change color. So it was like a chameleon. So I don't know if that I'm serious. Like, try it yourself.
I know. No, I've had it happen. I believe you with all my heart. I've watched things shape shift and change right in front of my dang face.
Yes.
And I watched my hair get up and walk off one day by itself, and the people would laugh at me for saying that. I just said it. There it is.
Yes.
Hi, Erica Fox. I love you so much.
Your mom's
Erica's
name
here
is
with
Lorraine.
us.
That's
She's
so
relating
cool.
to you. Erica relates to you. She said she's like her mom's name is Lorraine, and
awesome.
she smokes cigarettes. And
I love where
awesome.
you
love
said
Erica,
they are
so
all our angels. Thank you. That's so sweet.
They like that. You guys are like we're here for each other, and I love that. But you guys are my angels. Like every one of you are just. I don't know what I'd do without you, honestly. I mean, you guys are what I have, and I appreciate you more than you know.
Well, may I?
So you're gonna have to send me that. Say the name of that gentleman again. That talked about the ropeworm.
Alex Volinsky. He's
Alex Volinsky, guys. So I'm gonna look into that.
He is a professor in Florida. And that's actually how I contacted him, because he has a group on Facebook called Ropeworm. That's it. And but you can't get a hold of him there really, so I called the college and got a hold of him that way.
Good for you. So, there's a girl thinking right there.
He was so good for me. He listened. I used to call him sobbing hysterically when this was happening. Like, he really cared, and that was cool. But this is what I wanted to ask you something, and this is going on to a subject that we may have to figure out a word here, but
well, we'll just go for it.
How do I put this? People think that people with Morgellons all have to be on drugs, and I
explain that.
I've been told that by so many people, and you know what? I don't hide the fact that I used to do drugs, but the thing is, that was years before. Like, I don't believe that. I do think that it may be connected, but I will tell you something. I'm not okay. This is the part where I'm gonna hopefully not get in trouble. I am not anti-drug. I think that God created certain things for medicine, and people
medicinal marijuana.
Well, the marijuana.
I watched it do miracles for my mom at one time.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. The drug that I did was cocaine, and it pushed this down. You used to be able to go.
You heard I don't know if you heard my podcast the other night, but I said, do not blame yourself. Do not think. People associate that, right, with doing drugs, because they picture druggies, they have lesions all over their bodies, right? But what they made an assumption. That's great, because that's an ass out of you and me and everybody else. The thing is, though, if you think about it, if you're going to put, like, we have something living inside of us. We are a host, in essence. I mean, I was just going to put it out there. It's true. That's the way it is. So and we have like mites and stuff like that. Like, we have the eyebrow and eyelash. I mean, it's a no-brainer that we have these living organisms in our body. What's to say something new didn't come in? Well, it did. I mean, it did. Okay, so if you think about this, you're going to put a poison inside your body, which cocaine, or I think they say meth, or anything synthetic that's not natural. It's a poison, and I've heard some horrendous things that it's made out of. The way I think about this, because I mean, there's so many of us that didn't do drugs. There's so many of us that just normal people there. And I'm going to say, like, I have drank, I have tried things. Absolutely 100%. I am not innocent. I'd be a fool to say I was. But, we're all human. I think we've all pretty much like lived our lives and probably did stuff we're not proud of.
Well, yeah.
But that's not either here nor there. When you put a poison in your body, what do you think is going to happen for that thing that's living inside of you? I mean, they say keep your body clean for Christ, our Lord, which makes sense, because that's where we hear the Holy Spirit. But then you poison whatever's living in us with meth or cocaine or whatever synthetic drug that you put in. They're going to come rushing out of your body. A lot of people would probably disagree and say, well, no, that's the meth pushing its way out, or your body pushing the meth out. I mean, your body pushes all sorts of bacteria out daily. I mean, like, hello, you're breathing air that's toxic. You drink things that aren't good. Our bodies are made to do that. Yes, but we don't get like boils and like lesions all over our bodies, do we? Whenever, like, just the natural things in life. Or, I mean, I know people that have consumed carbon monoxide that almost died from it. They didn't have lesions everywhere.
Exactly.
What I'm getting at is these things are, in my opinion, and I don't know why, in some and not like in others, but they come rushing out. Like they're living there. You've poisoned them. They're going out of your body. They're like, holy crap, I can't live in here. I'm dying, kind of like we are. But so that's my thought. And I'm not on any level encouraging drugs.
In the 1930s, you used to be able to go into a pharmacy and get liquid cocaine. I mean,
they were just all the time. Like you didn't see lesions on their body. Well, I'm sick of that as an excuse. People need to shush and just think responsibly. Like do your research. Stop listening to books or he said, well, a professor so and so nutty, but just stop it already. Stop listening to people. Like just be a real human that was instilled with the brain that God gave you. Utilize that thing. It's up here for a reason. It's in you. It's not for a textbook and then you got to read out of it and then quote it back. We don't want to hear the nonsense anymore. We want you to utilize your brain like many of us have and use it. But yeah, I want you, Trish, to know for 100% fact, along with anyone else that's felt this way, there are so many different walks of life here. Some drug users, some alcoholics, some not, some this, some that. Doesn't matter. Nobody has a label because we were not created. There's a one perfect human being that walked the earth. That was Jesus Christ. None of us are perfect. We all have a bag of poop that stinks. Where we carry it and drop it off, I guess that's all that matters. But the thing is, that's not what did it. That's not what you're experiencing this for. You are spitting it out, thank the Lord. And I don't care how you're spitting it out. I don't know why I'm spitting it out, honestly. I really don't. I just woke up one day, I started seeing things differently, and that's when the stuff started rushing out of my body. It's the only way to put it. Like, whatever it takes, I don't care what it takes, how it goes about. Nobody has a right to judge. I mean, you need to shut your mouth. I mean, if you went and you stole something from a grocery store when you were 5, you're still a sinner. You're a sinner. If you did some drugs, oh, well, we're sinners. If you did some alcohol, guilty, sinners. I mean, if you cheated on your boyfriend, sinners. Like, nobody's perfect. And people need to just stop with this better than thou, wagging your finger, telling everybody how it is, when your bag of poop is probably bigger than at most, and it stinks probably worse. And you don't have a right to judge, and you don't know. And literally, stop reading the books that were made to, like, tell you lies. And do your research. Just do it. You don't even have to travel to the foreign country. Just go to Google Earth. Use that tool that they created against us and use it for the greater good. You might be surprised what you see, guys. Just saying.
Yes.
But Trish, no, you're right. No, don't ever feel that way. Bull crap. Bull crap. They can just deal with all of us because, like I said, there's more of us now than there are of them, if there's any left of them at all that aren't zombies. But I said it, the Z word, zombies.
Oh no, I've seen that in person. There was a night in 2017. It was September 23rd, 2017. And I found out later that something really big happened in the sky that night. And I was outside.
2013?
No, 2017.
17. Okay, I know what you're talking about. All right.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. So I was outside with Lorraine again, and I saw something, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was smoking a cigarette. We were sitting in the driveway, literally on the pavement, and this thing came above us. It was like diamonds. I don't know how to explain it. It made this pattern, and it just hovered right there, and like right there. And
I know what you're saying.
Then it kind of came down and then vanished. And that something happened that night that I'm going to say this and sound like a nut job, and I really don't care.
I'll back it up with a video. So you just keep telling it, girl.
I seemingly watched the day restart itself.
You what?
And it was like I saw the day restart itself.
I believe you. I've heard that 3 times now. I haven't experienced it. I totally believe you though, because I feel like my days are like gone in a heartbeat, and then I do the same thing again. So
I saw it restart itself.
That's crazy you say that, because someone just told me that.
And there's people that know about it and that are covering up for it, like, because I peeked at her cell phone. I'll tell the truth, and it was like she was talking to her husband, and they were saying something about asking someone a question about something that happened yesterday. That person all of a sudden had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, this happened right in front of my face.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going crazy for a minute, and then I realized, no, this is the 23rd again. It's supposed to be the 24th. Like, I mean, this really happened. And I talked to a native elder. I talked to a native elder, and she told me that they're called mini resets, and they happen all the time. And
I've heard this like a few times. I believe you.
I didn't know anything about that. By the way, does anybody know what this? I mean, this dent is constant, and I've seen it on the dent.
Oh, the dent in the head. Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's hurting me, so I'm asking.
I have an identical.
Not that weird thing.
We match.
My mom has it too, and I can't figure out if it's something that they.
Mine showed up after Morgellons. I never had it before. Yeah, I have the same thing though. I have an indentation right here, and it's a hole like that. And then it filled in once, and like I thought it was gone, and then one day it was just back. Like
I also did have a fractured skull up there too. So that's what another thing I was going to say was they seem to go where you've been injured the most.
Yeah. I think you're right, because they feed off of, I don't know if it's the white blood cells for the healing aspect, like almost like they feed off the energy of the white blood cells, and I don't even know any other way to put that really.
Well, I honestly, I went through a phase when this first started of thinking that it was maggots because
trust me, I've seen some stuff where I'm like, what the heck's going on?
There was like what felt like thousands of them in my stomach that rushed all the way up to the top of my head. And when I got like a tilt test done at those doctors people, they would rush the opposite direction. Like I could feel it. And the guy actually caught something weird on the camera from it. And he came out and he looked at me and he said, "This is really weird." Like they don't know what to do with this stuff.
Yeah, what's going on here? This is not right. Actually, this is weird. This came out of my neck, so I don't know if it's going to show up or not, because this is how my life goes. But this has been 5 years right here, and a lot of people are like, "There's a spider. She was walking by, she stepped on it, and like she goes smushy, smushy." It's a spider. I'm like, you know what? Shut up, Cupcake, because I'm pretty sure I'm aware of what I pull out, and I physically look at it, and I'm like, "You go squishy, squishy under my foot here in 2.3 seconds, so zip it. Zip your freaking duck beaks, okay?" I'm just tired of it. This, okay, so this is what happened to me. If we can get it up. And that's not working. It's not working. So somebody hates me. I don't know who, but everybody right now. There we go. There we go. Hold on for the ride.
It's delusional.
Or no. Nope. We're not riding. Nobody's riding the horse today.
Very, very angry with people.
I might have to start it over because apparently.
You can't make this up, folks. This is not spontaneously.
Yeah, no, life hates me right now.
Wait, what is this?
This is a GMO.
This came out of my neck. And I wish I could make it bigger. It's actually in YouTube, on my YouTube channel. If you scroll way down about 4 or 5 years, probably 3 years. I mean, I can't remember when I put it up, but this is about the size of a dime. If I had to, maybe like my pinky now to describe it. So it looks huge, and I love it when people look at a video like, now how could something that big come out of your body? And I'm sitting here thinking, hey, genius. Whenever I video the moon and it looks huge or little, I mean, you can't decipher the size by a video.
Right.
So I know there's nothing to compare to, so that's why I'm saying. But look at my cheek here; it turns blue. Like this is the side of my face, but that came from my neck. So I show you my neck, and then my face turns blue because they're trying to pop out all over.
Quite a bit after bathing.
I wish I could make this bigger for y'all.
That means there's one near the surface right there. For some reason, it's got like the Kim light effect.
Fiber optics now, I know.
And my chin area.
My whole body was like
there's
this.
One trying to push its way
If
out
drugs
there.
do that to people, then just say no, but it ain't drugs, guys.
It's always hard to say what they're going to be until they're actually out. But yes, again, he, she, it, whatever that is on the floor came from right here. Looks like there's another one right here because I feel pressure.
So that's my neck area that I'm showing you guys, and that's where it came out of. And look, you can see it pushing something pushing its way out.
It's going to be interesting.
Yes.
But I mean, you guys can't paint that on. We can't make that happen to ourselves. And they try to say delusional or call this a delusion again. And I swear to goodness, I will come over and slap a doctor upside the head like 5 times more. Because this is no delusional parasitosis. This is actually a parasite with no delusion happening. That's what that is. I mean, look at this fat chunk. Like, what, you tell me all, like, spiders are overweight? Like, monkeys or something? I mean, the freaking thing's got thighs bigger than mine. Come on, shut the hell up. There's a fiber, a white fiber sticking out of it.
Black bugs. Sometimes
You name the species, but there's not no spider. She squished it. Yeah, I squished and made all his legs fat. Happens all the time.
They turn into a long kind of a spiked.
I mean, he's shape-shifting right there even. Well, that's a different thing that came out elsewhere, which looks like stickers, but they unfold into like a worm-looking thing with thorns. So a lot of people get those, but back to spider thing that people call spider, am I like, this is a chunky spider, man.
I don't know how he did it,
but I mean, he convulsed. Like, I pulled him out and I felt this thick wad, and I was like, because I felt this horrible movement and pressure in my neck, and I grabbed, and I took my 2 fingers and I kind of squeezed them together very gently, and this, like, in between my fingers was this guy, and I dropped it, and I mean, I screamed at first, and I'm like, nope, you're not gonna scare me. I came back with my video and I started videoing it, but I was like, there's a spider, she just walked through the house and squished it. I'm like, yeah, it's like, it's a chubby little spider, because all spiders like gain about 400 pounds for a spider. But I mean, what is the matter with people? So there's the comparison. That was my pinky now.
Wow.
So anyway, it's not huge, but it's moving, and it's not a spider. If it is, it's overweight, and it shouldn't be living in my neck hole. So, again, it's on my YouTube, towards the bottom of the channel, one of my early videos. But you want to talk about freaking out, been trying to keep my cool and act like, yeah, this just happens all the time. We shouldn't have to even be pretending that this is okay. And doctors, you should be ashamed of yourselves, because you have done nothing but harm us instead of doing no harm. You have harmed us and maimed us, and you have to live with yourself every day, and you do have a maker to answer to, and I want you to remember that, because right now you should be ashamed of yourself. You are a coward.
Someone that's supposed to help us.
So, I'm sorry, I talk a lot, but that was bad.
Go to school.
I mean, to go through this, guys, you really should go through that.
Supposed to care.
Especially a fat, chubby spider, if you want to call it. It's a parasite. It's living in me. It's living in us, all of you. I hate to say that, but it's not a fear mongrel thing to say. It is like, don't you want to know, so that maybe you can get them out? Like, come on.
Filled with dipwads, but this many dipwads in one world is a little confusing to me.
Okay, that is true.
And the ones calling us delusional, scary, and oddly enough, they are the ones that are delusional.
Yes, Raymond, it definitely affects your capillaries. I got videos of that too.
The blood vessels are very much impacted.
Yep, definitely. Like, I have all my sticking out.
I have what are called splinter hemorrhages in my fingernails.
Your issues are the lesions.
I've heard. I've somebody else told me they had that going on.
My heart condition, but yes, I have them all the time in my nails. The blood vessels it has to do with your blood vessels. So yes, the answer is yes.
I have heard that many times.
Definitely give them to the
many times.
Oh, I had 2 heart attacks when I was 28 and 29, and they're documented. Like,
oh my goodness, that's so. I had a heat stroke at 28, but man, a heart attack at that age. So look at this, how this thing changed. This was later on when I went back. Look at how this thing has changed. I mean, now it's stiff as a board. It doesn't like, there's no move. Like, this was just, I'm telling you, like 20 minutes later. And this is what it looked like when I came back. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not even like remotely the same. And I don't care what anyone says. It looks like a spider there, but like, it shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening. Another wrist one that, you know, we shouldn't have to go through this, guys. But yeah, when Raymond Weimer, I think is it Wire? Is that an I or an L? I'm half blind because of Morgellons.
Holy cripes.
He says, does it affect capillaries? And yes, it does, 100%. So I would try to squeeze these things out, and they would just turn blue, like fiber optic glue.
Quit talking.
So my daughter telling me, quit talking. Like, you know, that's how the family has changed. Like, my sister, even, I'm in the eyes out, scared to death. She's like, my daughter's just like, I'm so sick of here. And, you know, my sister's like, you're scaring her. And I'm sitting here on my knees begging and pleading. And I'm just thinking, what is wrong with everybody? How could they do that? Like, my daughter's just like, quit talking. Does she sound scared to any of you? Quit talking. But look at this thing coming out of my face. Like, it shouldn't be happening. White little freaking thing come out. And then all of a sudden it looks like it's just a droplet of blood. But you saw the beginning. It's like there's so many little fibers coming out. And this thing moving all by itself with no little problemo there. See all the white furs attached to that? And what is that? There was like, what's a leaf? I'm like, yeah, it's a leaf that's got a freaking like furry back like a caveman. I mean, come on, people, wake up. This stuff is not normal. You can't make it up. I don't have time to go like take a leaf from outside and glue some fur on it. Jeez. I mean, I'm 50 years old almost. Give me a damn break, you idiots. I mean, if I'm showing you this and I'm putting my integrity out, yeah, shut up.
Well,
see that? Just moving on its own there, just flapping away, like just waving, like, "Hey, you guys, want to come over and play?" And you know, I mean,
I have to comment on his new comment. Raymond said something else. He said, "My friend Anita has white gums and her teeth are gray and falling out. Does Morgellons do that too?" Well, yes, obviously. I don't have any teeth, so yeah.
Yeah, it affects all of our. I just got back from Mexico. Well, I mean, my front tooth broke out from eating like a very, very hard breadstick from Domino's. I will say that because they did me dirty.
I was in Mexico as well. I used to live there.
I'm liking what I see.
Oh, I lived in Honduras for a while, but I mean, it's cheaper there. But the point being is, yes, you betcha, it does affect your teeth so bad. Because I mean, my tooth, it was hard as a rock. It was like biting a rock. But I mean, people should have strong teeth. This thing came out of me too. Which, what do you call that? Well, you made it up too. I'm like, yeah, I just went and I got some spines.
You know, talking about that sticker? There's no.
I was talking about the sticker. This is what they unfold to. This is what they end up looking like. That look like stickers. They're actually living. And I mean, that's not okay, guys. And they're like, oh, I could explain what that is. Science says it's. And I'm like, you can take your science and shove it right up your rear end because your science is not science at this point. And your mind is like obviously conditioned to believe what some science guy that says he's a science guy told you to believe. So use your dang heads, guys, already, please, for the love of God. Fibers that was pulled, literally, I think this one actually came from my neck also. But I mean, you can't make this up. You think I'm going to go collect some debris outside and glue some fur on it? And then, for instance, here's a bundle of fibers. Everyone's like, it's your blue jeans. I'm like, yeah, my blue jeans are a little bitty and they have a mouth and they just move around. This thing would just do some weird things. You can see it moving clearly. Like, okay, if it's blue jeans, I don't care if say it's a pair of blue jeans. Why is it moving? Why is it moving by itself? Why did it roll over? Why did it do like a trick? Come on, idiots. I mean, your proof is there. It's all there. Like, people need to pull their heads out of their butts. And remember that can of paint that they bought at Walmart the other day that says nanotechnology, and then pull up the video that shows how that nanotechnology works, and then, you know, maybe you'll shut up.
Did you say Walmart?
What's that? Walmart's.
Well, that's a
bad place.
That's a part of what's happened to me. That place is terribly not good.
Oh, trust me. I mean, obviously, we got barbed wire fence up now, and they're getting. I mean, why do we think that those are the only places that stayed open this whole time? On mom and pop shop shut down, but yeah, we got Walmarts, don't we?
I'm not the only person that experienced something like this at all. But I have experienced trying to walk.
It's all over the floor there.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is where the AI comes in because I'm not the only person that experienced this. But everybody was kind of paused.
Yep, I'm definitely crazy.
And
this isn't happening, and nobody else is seeing it.
So they stopped and like they just stopped and paused, like as if they were moving.
Whatever they were doing. When I walked in, everybody was just standing there, like paused, and
everybody's debris moves.
Talk about the Matrix.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah.
It's
like,
the
oh,
truth,
did you see my booger?
Yeah.
I want to point something out though. You see how this thing took on the coloring of the floor, which is why I say blue jean color. This thing was not that color at first. It came out like almost blood looking, like blood with white fibers. Wow. And then this is what, of course, by the time I got my phone out and to record. But I mean, look at that. I mean, they can blend in. They have the blending technology, the shape shift. I don't care what you call it. It's very obvious, guys. And I don't know what this was, but this was one of those little gnat looking things that was in the dirt digging, like, and it was so tiny. I don't even know how I saw it, but those gut feelings that it's just there, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, just stupid stuff. But another one of those little sticker things that unfold and do weird stuff. And you see the white fibers all on it moving. I think those give life. They have an electromagnetic current or something that gives life to things almost. It's the only way to explain it. But I mean, stuff shouldn't be happening. And who's going to go collect a buttload of debris that doesn't look even remotely human or worldly possible and make it move and just pretend like, yeah, this is coming out of my body? Like, what a stupid ass thing to say, you know? Like, our lives are on the line here, our integrity especially, and our families like disown us all for speaking the truth. So nobody's gonna self-sabotage like that. No way. Not in that aspect. Not this way, guys. Not a million of us worldwide gonna sit there and tell you this that don't know each other. It's real. It's real because it's real. So get over it. What you've been told. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. Your logic isn't logic anymore. Get over that too. You don't have to have logic in your world. Okay, your world doesn't have the logic you thought it was gonna have. Okay, so just leave that in the past. Move on and understand your world is different than what you've been told. Because it is, right?
Right.
I mean, it's so different. I mean, this stuff, like, this was on my skin, too. Just little guy just moving around like, hey, guys, just waving.
They all wave.
Do you get the feathers, too?
Wave hello, goodbye.
What?
Have black.
You get the feathers in your body, like feathers?
Oh, yes. I mean, I used
Yeah,
to.
that's a
not
common, this is
anymore.
like a wannabe feather, but...
I had.
Welcome to what comes out of my body.
Did you ever have like the dead animals around? Like, there's a point in time when that happens.
Yeah, wait, yeah.
That has a lot to do with the targeting, actually. But there was like a dead bird outside the same car door every single day.
It's weird that you say that. I didn't know that until you just said that.
Yes, it starts like that with stuff like that, like dead animals around. Because this, I'm going to flat out say this. This has to do with black magic, voodoo, and all kinds of other technological witchcraft.
Black goo, yep, a lot. I believe that.
Goo. The black goo, I had to watch, or whatever it is, that black liquid, I had to watch it go into my fingers. I can still pull out
I think
hairs,
that's
and
when I
came
down with this. Yeah, the fibers and the black goo. Like, I couldn't get the black goo off of me. And that's when I started experiencing all this. I thought it was tar. I called it tar at the time. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it looks like tar, but
I mean, I didn't know anything about black goo at the time, I guess.
On the end of my hairs, some of them will have the black tar, but what I'm saying is when I got poked in the chest that night, it went like 10 different directions, and I thought it was blood, but it wasn't. And I had to watch it go into my fingers and feel it go up over my skull.
Oh my gosh.
When it went up over my skull, it felt like kind of mesh.
Yep, that's weird too. I've experienced that too. You see how the inside of my ear turned black from this thing? Like, literally, the inside of my ear just got black and look, I mean, look at that. Like, and I could feel it. It ached so bad, and you could see all the fiber optics coming out and the little tentacles. I mean, this was in the side of my face by my ear, and my ear just turned, all of my ear turned black. Eventually, it all turned black, but then it just went away like nothing happened. And this wound closed right up like nothing happened, like within an hour.
Delusional. My freaking white American buttocks.
Sorry, I was so
You're
livid
welcome.
that I was going through this, and like, you people can just go take another psycho pill because this is not delusional. You can see that clearly there. It's like a long white wormy looking thing with fiber optics in it, and you can see it move and go away there. I mean, it just buries itself, comes back, and then it tries to close my skin over with this clear plastic coating. And you can see it working at it right as we speak. And you can see all these little dots around my face. Like, I have a clear complexion, believe it or not. But in this video 5 years ago, all these little dots, those were those things trying to burst out of me. They were everywhere. And so if you want to say drugs on that, how does drugs create, like, I don't know, weird babies, like crazy babies, whatever they're not, whatever they are? That's impossible. Like, and like I said, our walks of lives are different. Some have admitted to meth or whatever, and that's okay. I feel bad that they've been shaming themselves, because that is not why you have this.
Sorts of wrong.
I mean, I can't figure out what brought this on me. I know I hit rock bottom, like my husband had left, and I mean, I was just distraught. I thought I'd lost everything in my world. And that's when all mine started happening, like when I started experiencing. But it seems like every walk's different. Here's another weird damn thing. Like, what is this? Why is this in our bodies? You know, and again, this is 5 years ago, but still, shouldn't have been there.
Raymond said, I never thought of Morgellons being supernatural or demonic. Well, I'm here to tell you, sir, it is both.
It is literally, because trust me, once this happens, you start seeing the evil.
There's things
I'm
that
just gonna say it, evil beings. Like,
I really believe that it messes with you, though. It's what I call a program. because it is partially computer, like AI type stuff. Because
there's AI, but the technology came from somewhere, right? Yeah.
Well, the technology's always been here.
Exactly. From the dawn of time, like the Anunnaki or those who fell from heaven. I mean, look at the buildings that were still there at the time.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know how people can't. That's why I said that earlier in the video, like a podcast, that the people, if you would just pay attention to your history and what was standing before, where we had like just a few hundred people living in a place, and then we have these massive, immaculate, with this intricate cuts buildings with massive doorways that they didn't have the equipment nor technology to ever possibly done. But they're telling you, yeah, horse and buggy, we're just doing a World's Fair, and then we're going to tear it down as soon as we're done with the World's Fair. We're going to, I know we only have 500 people to build this. It's like the size of a city. It's like, do your math. Don't stop listening. Do your alternative history, because your alternative history is your best bet. It's the real one. So,
and there is a way to capture the part of this targeting people talk about is something called V2K. And
right, voice to skull. Yeah.
Yes, and I have experienced that twice in my life. The first time was a man. It was actually the night before the 23rd of September when that happened. I heard in my right ear. It's always my right ear. I heard somebody go, "Hey," like that.
I've heard that. I've never happened to me. But I've heard people say that.
I actually take that back. It happened 3 times. The other time I was in the line at a gas station, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen Silence of the Lambs, but that noise that Hannibal Lecter makes, that happened in my ear.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I came home 500 miles away, and I'm doing dishes in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear what sounds like a snake right behind me, and my son had like those rubber snakes, so I thought maybe that was him playing a game. I turned around, there's nobody there, and he's in the other side of the house.
Oh, that would have creeped me out.
Well, and that's not all. My mother's caregiver was standing in the exact same spot, right? And she has 2 little girls that she used to bring sometimes. Well, she felt her daughter come up behind her and grab her legs, like always, turned around. There was nothing there.
Oh my goodness.
So
I've had some strange things happen, but man, that just gave me the chills.
I always have had those experiences, and that's just, but now that you know about the targeting, it's it makes it different, because
it does. You're right.
I don't remember the last time I truly felt safe, and that's awful, because you can't.
Yeah. And you have no one to turn to. That's the worst part. It was like when you're alone, like I have to walk outside and see the crap. And I'm just like, suck it up, Lisa. You don't have a husband. You don't have anyone that loves you. Nobody cares about you. Just suck it up. You got to be the hero here. But it is amazing how you learn to be your own hero, is it not?
Well, yes, and it's a big transformation, but like trying to discern.
This is in our sky here, guys. This is what you start seeing in the sky after you have Morgellons, or whatever your awakening is. You start seeing these in the sky. Pitch black, but then you see this. What is that? There's a ladybug. I'm like, yeah, it's like only like, it would have been like 500 foot long then if it was a ladybug, because it was pretty far up there. But, sure, it's a beetle. It's a beetle in the sky. Makes sense to me. Said nobody ever. But these things are in our sky, guys. Look at that. I mean, they're there. And these, I believe it was Sam. Some of these don't belong to me, but a lot of them do. They just shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. I'm sorry, but they are there. And come to find out, see, here we go. Perfect. You can see it there moving around. It's like right there in your face in the sky. And it's like, no, we don't believe in it. Okay, your aliens aren't like little green men like you think, guys. And your UFOs aren't actual ships. They would totally disintegrate coming from that far away if that were in case the fact. These are interdimensional beings that can act like, I've seen them become orbs. I've seen them become airplanes. I have seen them literally shapeshift into drones. I've seen them portray helicopters. I mean, I got proof. I mean, I don't care how stupid or crazy it sounds. You can call me crazy all you want, but until you can prove me wrong and look at my evidence first and other people's thousands, you need to sit back, because these are in our sky. Look at that.
Tell you what he's doing. Oh, he's inside.
So, yeah, this is my video. You can hear me talking there, but clear as day. I mean, in your face stuff there.
He's literally in here.
I mean, that was like, actually this thing moved in. I remember this day now. He moved into the garage area where I was standing. So he wasn't big, but this one was big. This one was huge. So, I mean, you guys, this is real stuff. I don't have time to Photoshop. I have a real job. I have a real child, 4 of them. I mean, I'm a real person with a real life that wanted to be normal, just like y'all's. And Tasha, the same thing, right? I mean, Trish, the same thing. We didn't ask for this, so we're not making it up. But that's what's in your sky. It's there. It's true.
And I mean, I have been on Facebook for 12 years, and 9 of those years I have been writing about this and talking to people and, staying up all night with these people because they want to commit suicide. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I can't even tell you how many people that tried to kill themselves. You guys see this thing here in the window?
Did you know Janet Murray?
Yes.
She was my friend, and I was actually supposed to be at her house the day that she went away.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I mean, it was because of the targeting. It was because of this.
Yeah.
And it makes me very angry.
I know. There's so many people that have driven to. So you guys tread lightly on people that have this. I mean, I'm tough as freaking nails. You're not going to hurt me or break me, but if you hurt one of my friends, I'm going to come after you. And I promise you, give you a big old hug so that and then it'll be twice whether you want that hug or not. And then you're going to know when you really believe it when I hug you. So I'm just kidding. I don't think it's contagious like that, but it would be funny to watch them run. But I mean, I live around my family, kids, and I don't see them open lesions. I do see them obviously affected because they're all not feeling emotions anymore or care or concern. But
Raymond
it's
says
real.
That his friend? I'm not sure. Yeah, his friend Nita is using a zapper, and I will tell you something. When I was in Florida last year, I got to use this very high-tech zapper. I put it right here on my cheek. I felt like something the size of a centipede run down here and run down my chest and skitter. But I could finally smell again. I had not been able to smell, like, each room smells different. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
I've never been, for years I haven't been able to. And using that zapper cleared out whatever that was so that I was able to have my sensory perceptions back.
So I use a cattle prod. I gotta get a cattle prod.
Well, that's not even funny, but yes.
No, I've done it. I mean, I've done it. So there was a day I went out and grabbed my electric fence every day, and someone said, "Well, that doesn't have enough voltage. That's just baby stuff." But it worked.
I was just about to say the exact same thing, that I went and grabbed this electric fence. I finally got the courage up to do it, and guess what? It was off.
Oh, after all that time of getting the courage to, No, I used to do it daily, like sometimes twice a day. I mean, that's how I kind of got my body back into better shape. But this is how my stuff started. I was looking for artifacts and stuff in the Brazos River, and I had black tar looking stuff all over me. And I went back, and next thing you know, I was walking barefoot through the grass, and I had these rocks down, and all these white fibers started shooting into my toe. And I mean, and I finally pieced it together because I realized when I saw later that the rocks had thousands of white fibers, and it was coming out of that black tar looking stuff, which later was to be recognized as black goo. But that's how mine all started. No drugs, no this, no that. It was just literally black tar and white fibers out of the Brazos River. And I was pulling up ancient artifacts. I mean, I'm not even lying. I've got proof of it. I'm talking ancient artifacts, the Brazos River here. But I mean, then I started seeing all these things. It's like it opened my eyes. All of a sudden, I became awake and aware. How about you on that? Did it happen in a sense like that to you, or?
I'm sorry. Can you? What happened?
So you know how like you experience one thing like first. Well, I know you've been going through this since you were 5, but did it seem like everything just flooded you at once? Like you experienced one certain thing, and then all of a sudden you became awake, alert, and aware of everything going on?
Yes, and it's completely overwhelming. There was a point in time when like I said, I was hearing that all the noises that annoyed me, but I did something that I don't recommend unless you're really ready for it. I screamed as loud as I could, "Jesus, please heal my eyes." And I'm telling you, this white crap came out of my eyeballs. And the next second, I started seeing some things that
I'm telling you, Jesus Christ, just by using that name and believing, you betcha that is the number one healer right there.
Yeah.
The only healer, true healer. Well, so that happened for you then.
Well, I saw All right, fine. I've written about this, but I never actually said it out loud in front of people. But what I saw was like people with, okay, fine.
Just say it. I'm right there with you. You know that.
I
So.
saw people standing there in white lab coats with clipboards writing down every single thing that was said and done.
I have heard 3, actually take that back, 4 other people aside of you tell me the same exact
Well,
thing.
in that
I
exact
believe you with all
moment,
my heart. I have people tell me they came from the red cloud, a red place. They're not from here, and I believe them. They're dead serious. I mean, some of them will break into tears.
yeah,
I totally believe you.
in that exact moment, that's about what happened to me because I forgot my name. I didn't know who was president. I didn't know what year it was. Like my mind
Oh,
completely
wow.
got wiped at that point, and it was like a reset happened for me.
Ugh.
But it wasn't good because like I started seeing things like and I was not doing drugs at this point, but I started seeing things like the moon would be on my left hand side. I'd blink and it was all the way on the other side. Like what?
Right.
And then the biggest thing was somebody keeps telling me that we went through into a different like earth almost in 2017. So I'm going to say this, when we were driving
out of my body too.
it was like a,
tell me how normal this is. And my doctor
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to keep playing. I was trying to listen to you, and then I heard someone talking. Yeah, that thing is supposed to. So go on. I'm sorry.
We went through what, like I saw this whole like cloud, and it was like we drove through it, and I saw this white flash of light. I literally called my mom to see if the rapture had happened. Like I thought that it was that.
Oh, I bet.
And apparently it was that point in time that we were transferred into wherever we're at now, because I'm telling you, this is not the same earth that Jesus Christ walked. I don't believe it.
I believe you. I believe that. I've heard that before, and though I haven't experienced that, too many people have said that.
I had an experience with him in 2007. You know, I was on my knees on the back deck, and I was praying. Lorraine was there again, and I mean, I've talked to Jesus ever since I was a little girl, so I don't mind talking about this part. But he came there, and the atmosphere completely changed. It was like this soft green, and I had been hurting so bad because of the Morgellons, and this was the part when I was pretty much bedridden. And anyway, I just started laughing. It was just this lightness of the atmosphere had happened, and yeah, I see all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he asked me if I wanted to go or stay. And he told me that if I stayed, there would be torment and suffering and things. And I'm not sure to this day if I made the right decision. But I said,
so you got a choice then there.
Yes, and I don't know if I made the right choice. But I said, if there's even one person left here that I can save, I choose to stay.
I love that.
But before he left, he said to me something that really knocked my socks off, because I've always been this loving person, but I didn't realize this changes you. And
it changes you big time.
He asked me, do you want your love back? And I was like, whoa. So I said yes. And then the atmosphere kind of went back to normal. And I turned to Lorraine and I said, I have a gift for you. And she had been so depressed. Her eyes were like almost black. She was down and depressed. She'll tell you this too. I touched her forehead, and you could see this light just start enveloping her, and she just started laughing and laughing and laughing and crying, and like it was just a beautiful moment. And I don't care if people don't believe me. You come over and I'll do it to you.
Yeah,
like,
they can't use their eyes as like, who cares anymore? We're trying
prove those things, because
trying to save you.
He gave me something in my hands that works for people, so I don't care about talking. I'm not,
not here to please you. We're here to warn you and help.
Right.
I mean, that is true. Like, I actually, it doesn't even hurt my feelings anymore. I mean, I'm so used to it, but the thing is, it's like you got the secret deep down inside, and you know it's true, and either they choose to listen or they don't, and the rest is on their shoulders, and they have to answer for that, and they're going to go through so much turmoil, even, and you know this, and it hurts your soul and heart to think about that. And it used to haunt me at night. I would just toss and turn in bed thinking about my family, and then one day, I just felt like this overwhelming emotion, like it was laid on my heart. It was like everyone has to go through their battles. Everyone's battle is different, and this isn't your battle. You can only give the word and spread the news, and the rest is up to them. And that's like those. It was almost in those words. That's the only way I can explain it. But I mean, and I had to learn how to let go and like keep trying. Don't get me wrong, but even like you said, even if you can save one person, and I mean, I would lay down my life for that one person if that's what it takes. And I mean that with all of my heart. I don't have anyone here that needs me per se. I'm still raising a daughter. She's getting older, but I mean, I'm not afraid to die. I am not fearing it. I am ready. This place is bad. I mean, I'm ready to meet my Lord. And
you know
I'm
what?
not
There's no
kill
death.
myself because I got stuff to do here, man. But
it's not
you know what
death,
I mean?
It's just a change of worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I like to look at it as what we're doing is we're just holding hands, walking each other home. Like
that's what we're doing. And you that was a good way to put that, Trish. I like that. I like that a lot, Trish. So that was a good one. But I just appreciate you so much. And I know I talked a lot, and I know people are gonna be like, you talk over, you need to, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean if I have, I don't mean to.
No,
I get really passionate too, and it's called Morgie Mouth. Like it's like we all just want it. We don't get to share our news and our stories with others, and then when we find like we can actually talk to one another, it's hard not to just like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. It's really hard, and I mean, so forgive me if I know Trish does. I know Trish, she loves me, but I mean, those of you that choose to scold me once in a while, I mean, once or twice, okay, that's fine, but I mean, don't keep doing it, please, because it's not I'm trying to.
Right.
I mean, I'm not. I want only the best for everyone. I certainly wouldn't want to hurt anyone or to cut them off in time, but I mean, I have a voice too, and I got things to share too, and some of us, we actually enjoy like each other's company to talk back and forth.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I know I do. So thank you, though, for all that you share, all that you do. And I'm going to ask you one more time, which if you could think of anything else that you might want to talk about, and I'll be quiet.
No, you're fine. I know.
I mean, I just remind, I'm like, try to remember, and I'm like, oh, shoot, Lisa, shut up. But, nobody wants to hear you. Nobody ever cared about your story. Honestly, nobody ever did care about my story. Like this whole time, I've harbored it in. I've gone at this alone with no one at all. And I'm proud of that, but I need to shut up because sometimes people don't even care to hear, and I shouldn't even worry about that. So.
Well, no, I was going to just simply say that, well, first of all, of course, I care about your story. That's not even
I know you do, and I appreciate you for that. Like, I have Sheila, you, Candy. I know you guys do, and I love you guys so much for that.
I've been asked this question 1,000 times, so I'm going to address it now, and that is, people have asked me, okay, so, and I do have witnesses to my healing gift. That's not even here nor there. But people have asked me, if you can heal people, why don't you heal yourself?
It doesn't work like that.
Well, I will give two answers for that. The first one is because it never really occurred to me because I didn't feel worthy to do that. Like, I didn't.
We're selfless. Selfless, right?
Yes, I didn't know I was allowed. Like,
I've never tried, honestly.
Well, I have been working. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but
no, please do share. People either they're gonna love it or they're gonna hate it. But the thing is, I love it and I appreciate it. And those that hate it, one day are gonna love it. You know how that goes. Like they eventually, hopefully, prayerfully wake up. But when the end is near, well, there's a reason that narrow doorway is there. So,
and I've talked about this because, well, I had you know about Michael Chapala, correct?
Yeah, I actually went to go see him, and I turned around right at the border.
See, that's the thing. I was supposed to go see him. Whether he died or went away, I don't know which one is true, but
yeah, well, we know how
either
that goes.
way, I was supposed to go see him. I had just talked to him on the phone, and he looked at all my videos of my neck, and he's like, "Wow, Trish." He actually said to me, "You're gonna die if you don't get down here." Gosh. And I had a plane ticket to come there. Somebody paid for me to go. That was that person actually turned out to be not very nice, but my point is that the day we were supposed, like 12 hours before I was going to see him, is when we found out that he had supposedly been murdered that night. And I'm like, dude, he was fine. He was there for all those years until I'm supposed to go down there. And it's like, that just blew my mind. I mean, it was just hours before I was
It was
supposed to get on that plane.
crazy. Yeah, that was really close to where you. I mean, it was like about a month after. Well, no, it was a couple of months after I tried to go see him. I was shocked when I heard the news. But you and I both know how this goes, and some of our deaths
Every way I
come
have
prematurely
heard,
when we talk about it. But I don't care.
anybody
Go
that can
ahead.
truly help me, I've been diverted from going to them. It's happened to me over and over. Now, nobody ever died until
Yeah.
now, but it's been
Right.
complete diversion. But as far as why I don't heal myself, because I didn't know I was allowed,
That's
and
good
now I
wisdom.
have to. I'm so slow with it, but I am going to try, because I believe that it was good. You know, if you're given a gift, why can't you use it on yourself? And to those people who have
Yep.
asked me, I'm going to address this too, because no, I'm on a roll here, because they have said this so many times to me. I'm just going to address it. People have actually told me that I should, you know, those people that charge to heal people.
There's, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but I don't agree with that at all, and I get so
I
angry
don't either. I mean, you got to
because
just. It's a gift that we didn't work for. Like it was
right,
given to
and
us. If you
Jesus
share it,
said, "Freely you
that's
have
right.
been given, now freely give." That's what he said.
Amen. I see a lot. I mean, I was just watching someone early last night. I think it was the Leak Project, and he had some healers on from Native American and some other girl. And I was just like, man, you know, I love what you guys are trying to do, but I hate the fact that, or I even hate whenever they're like, you want to see the rest? Go over here and pay for this channel, and you can see it all for $5.99. I'm just thinking, I haven't made a dime off my channel. I've never tried to make a dime. YouTube, I'm not. By the way, people think like, oh, she's got that many people now, so she's definitely making. I'm not making anything. YouTube refuses to fund me, and thank you for not funding me, because I wouldn't want dirty money. Wouldn't want dirty money.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I don't want any money. Like, I am doing this because I love you guys. I care. And if you want to call us names and be mean, well, you can take a walk, because it's going to bite you in the butt later. But don't be mean. Don't do it here. You're not welcome here. If you got to do that, go, you know, have an argument with yourself in the mirror and pick on a few things that's wrong with yourself. But stop hurting people, because we're telling the truth. And I did this channel just for that. I mean, truth matters. And I mean, I'm sorry if your conditioning has worked so well, but you know, it's time to break out of those chains that bind you, because you do have chains that bind you. And the Bible talks about these things. I mean, come on, guys. You didn't think that these things were literal in the Bible. You believe in the Bible. You say you believe everything in it. You believe in God. You believe in Jesus, most of you. So like all of you, this is my question to you. If you said that you believe these things, and you can see all these things are written, and Revelation is unfolding right before your very eyes, and all the signs are there. I mean, maybe lacking one or two. And you guys are like, oh, fear monger, I don't believe that. Or, oh, that's not true. We don't know. Nobody knows the time of the day. Number one, you have a Bible with the message in it. Number two, no, nobody knows the time or the day. But guess what, cupcakes? You were given the signs. You were given the signs to look for. I mean, they're perfectly written, and we can all probably agree that a lot has been left out, right? Mm-hmm. A lot has been left out of the Bible. There are, you know, what do you call them? Cuneiform tablets being dug up every day with new things, but they all kind of still simmer down to like the same message in every religion and their beliefs. Right. Or Native Americans, we're singing the same song, guys.
Wait, what did you say about the Native Americans?
What's that?
I'm sorry. What did you say about the Native?
I said the Native Americans, like they all speak of these things that are happening right now. I mean, we all talk about the same things, and the religious aspect. I mean, complete different religions, but I mean, the stories came from somewhere, and there's a reason they're so similar, because because they're true. It's a true story. It's just we're all singing the same song, but it has a little different tune.
Are you?
But I mean, Jesus is coming.
Yes.
Plain as day. Jesus is coming. He's on his way. Open up your eyes.
Me what your nationality is?
I believe that we have some Native American in us, a Cherokee. Black Dutch is what I've heard. I know I don't fit the picture, but I'm a mutt. I'm a Heinz 57 American born, but God made mutt. Well, I'm that. I don't know. I have a lot of other things in me, but I don't know exactly. I know that those two things I mentioned, I think there's some Pleiadian. Just kidding. I hope not. I've been told a million times. You look like a Pleiadian. What's that?
You look like a Pleiadian.
Everybody, I've been told that more times than I can even count, really. I mean,
Well,
actually, I've heard it
I
a
do
lot.
not look
But
like my heritage, in my opinion, whatsoever. My
what is yours?
well, on my mother's side, my grandfather's full blood, pure blood Puerto Rican, and that's
Okay,
pretty rare.
I
But
don't see any Puerto Rican in you, really. So,
well, this is
but
the
that's
thing.
me too. I mean, I grew up in New Mexico. I was the minority. So.
On the other side, I am Native American. Well, I hate saying American.
Well, I mean, I am too. I mean, well, people get offended if you say Indian. It's like, what can you say
No,
anymore?
it's
Nobody's
Indian.
offended. Like, what are you, pansexual, asexual? What? I mean, just stop it with your stupid like verbiage and like your words. Like, just what we mean. Just let us say
I
it.
am Native.
So stop being offended already. You don't have to be offended all the time. So get over it.
On the other side is one of the grandparents is pure blood Native. So point is, I'm Native, I'm Puerto Rican, and I think there's a tiny bit of German. So my point, I don't think I look
Native American, and I know it's in there, right? I don't look like that. So you and I are like a lot alike, right? Yeah. There's, I don't know. I don't know my. I mean, like I'm O positive, so I don't understand that.
You're what?
But my daughter, I made an O negative baby, so.
No. I'm O negative too.
But I mean, I'm O positive, but my daughter, I made an O negative baby. She's O negative, but I am O positive. So they talk about the blood, but I don't understand how that works.
O negative is called God's blood, and it is.
Well, they say I'm O positive. I don't know actually.
Huh?
So they say. I mean, I was told maybe I'm O positive. I really don't know.
Well, O negative is called. The O's are called God's blood.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's because there's no little strands attached to them with all the nanotech that came in later on and made us so positive.
Well, there's
I mean, I watched the whole thing on that. So I don't. So you were talking about the bloodlines, though, right?
Yes.
And it does seemingly appear that a lot of individuals are O negative. Now, like I said, I was told I was not, but I have my daughter is, my firstborn daughter is O negative, and 2 O positives can make an O negative, just so everyone understands that is how that works. But 2 O negatives cannot make an O positive. That would be an O negative. So they say an O negative and O positive can make either or, right? I'm not sure how that works, but so the structure of that is what does that come down to with the bloodline? Like, because you said a lot of this seems like that's bloodline related, and I do believe that.
Well,
to some respect, I don't know what I am, so I'm a mutt.
Well, I think we're all kind of mutts, but I mean, it's kind of rare to have I don't know about other people's situation, but pure-blooded this or that is very rare.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can clearly go to probably Africa and know that they're more or less.
Well,
but here, look, we all came from other countries. Like our ancestors are just like European. They came over, they mingled, they made the Native Americans were here. They raped, they did whatever I said the rape word.
Yes,
but you know what I mean? They did that. Like we are our bad people. Our presidents are horrible. Like, I mean, come on, they had slaves. Like, hello, knock, knock. But I mean, like, first part of the freedom and this, people are backwards. Like, how could they even believe in their constitution when they all had slaves and half of them still do and just don't even realize they're enslaved? So I don't get this way. I don't get this country at all. I think this was an alternative to another AG and you know what I mean? I think this was created for a different purpose, but that's just me thinking out loud.
No, you're probably right.
I don't know, girl. I like so much. And that's why I love having these podcasts, because when I say things out loud, it helps me discover more. When I listen to other people saying it and talking about it, like, oh my gosh, so that makes sense. So this goes with that. And like, no, ta-da, there it is. There's your answer. So this is how we figure things out, guys. And if you have things to add, if you have thoughts or ideas that might help us all kind of put these puzzle pieces together, because I don't think there's an end to the puzzle, but please leave a comment on this and tell us what your thoughts are. And Trish, I did interrupt on the Native American and the bloodline thing. So you were saying, like, it seems like, right, that most people have, maybe it's just a tie to the bloodlines that, wear the crowns on their head, that think they're all special, like probably have fat asses.
Well, see, that brings, there's a certain bloodline that see, I hold different beliefs now than I used to. I know that the Bible has been tampered with, and yet I know it still holds power because I've seen it. Things happen to it that
The living word is in you, though, right? Yeah.
Yes, but at
If
the
it lives
same
within
time,
you, there's a reason for that.
but I believe things that most people don't. I believe like about
believe
Christ,
like
I
you.
mean, about Jesus, and I don't believe. Oh, okay.
Just go. I got my lunch packed. We're going on this trip. So
I believe that there is a bloodline. I believe that he may have had children.
it's a possibility. I mean, that is a possibility because
if
just
you
because
read
it's not
any of the other texts,
read in the Bible doesn't mean it wasn't taken out, right?
that's right. And if you read some of the other like Essene Gospel of Peace or the that actually talks about this thing we have in my like around the neck and stuff. The Essene Gospel of Peace explains how to get it out. But
I'd like to know. Sheila would really like to know.
It's basically, I'll be completely blunt, it's basically fasting for a few days and then doing an enema. It even describes the gourd. It's talking about
No,
the
that's X
gourd.
only. Just kidding.
But Jesus was there.
No.
But Jesus was there, and when it came out, he took 2 rocks and made sure to cut the head off. Because it was the head that if you don't cut the head off, it will regenerate.
Kind of like Medusa, like that's the only way to kill her. Like,
I mean, it's right there.
And thinking about the Hydra thing that was in the
exactly.
Be you later, roll your sleeve, or I mean, just read between the lines, guys, or figure out my weird language. But
he,
I mean, these things are related in ancient history. They all die. So they talk about these things way back in ancient history. So that's a good point, Trish, for sure. Cutting the head off, and if you look at that in ancient history and the way that worked too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I get a head cut off, but on my own, I don't want to do that. I kind of need it. Not that I think a lot with it. I mean, I'm not sure how. I just know that I finally got a peace. I came to peace when I figured out one day, and I just, Lord, I'm driving myself crazy with this. I'm driving myself batty, wondering what did I do to deserve this, or how can I fix this, or how can I help them, or how do I save those, or why is this happening, or what caused it, where did it come from, who did it, what happened, why does the Bible say this, but like things are showing up this way? And I had all these questions, and one day I was like, there's a reason for that passage, and that scripture is like, just be still and know that I am God.
Oh yes.
And I think I don't even remember how it happened, but I felt this calm come over me, almost like, Lisa, you got to let go. You're not in control. You're not driving this boat. You're not driving this vehicle. This is not your vessel to drive. This is not your story to tell. It's mine. You got to let go of the steering wheel, hold on for the ride, and just let me do what I'm going to do. And I think that's where don't get me wrong, I have bad days, but I mean, I think that's where I finally found more peace with what we're all enduring and going through, and watching everyone suffer around us. Even those that aren't awake, they're suffering. They don't even realize they're suffering, and that's really heartbreaking to see people living in a world that they think is okay. To me, that's a horrible suffer, because I think that's the worst you could do, is not be aware and awake, and be diligent, be ready, because you're Satan, the devil. He's there. He's ready to pounce on you. And these things are told to us, and they're sleepwalking. And I think that's the most wretched, horrible thing, to be unknowing about your fate.
Right.
Your fate. You're in. It's scary. And I think a lot of us, especially those that have this, and we know we're dying, right? We're sitting here like our lives on the line, and we're suffering every day. And here we are worrying about those that have treated us horribly. And it's because we have real love now. We had to lose ourselves to find the new individual, to find the God, like person, the individual that lives within us all. And you can find God within you, because you're made from him. You are of him. That's why your house needs to be clean. You got to keep it clean, and because the Holy Spirit dwells within you. And I start to see these things in new light now. Every day I'm seeing something new. How about you on those aspects?
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem just strange how things start to connect? Even the be still, or the narrow doorway and gateway, or there will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And there'll be distress among nations, and but then you hear that it is then where you will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory, and every eye will see him. And that means those that are sleeping too. So the day's coming, they'll wake up then, but I just don't want it to be too late, and it's worrisome. But so it is late, isn't it? And I have talked so much. I'm going to get a spanking on here. I'm going to have some comments saying, you shame, you naughty, and you shouldn't do that. And be like, I know, I'm sorry. And I do apologize, but I mean, I just have lots to say. I just want to say it. I've never got to say it before, Nobody here. I have had nobody. I mean, when I say nobody, I literally mean like not one friend, nobody. So I have you guys now, and I love you guys for that. You've
I don't know
made my life an amazing place. So
in the chat here, is that somebody you know?
What's that?
He said, "Hey, I made
your
life
there. Oh, hey, we got the possible here. Hi there, Wild Man. Hey, I made your live show. You did make the live show. Okay, is that what you're reading?
Yeah.
I just now saw. This might be some of the manipulation from Noah. Wild Man, that is a good point. The story of Noah, I think there's probably a little twist of that too that people don't realize. What do you think, Trish?
Yeah,
the story of Noah.
Oh yeah.
So Wildman said this might be some of the manipulation from Noah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Okay. So Wildman, if you're here, and I think I know what he's saying, but tell us what you mean by that.
Manipulation from Noah. You mean the bloodline?
I think that the animals and I think that I have heard, and I mean, I don't have this because I haven't studied that aspect or seen like the proof, but I think there was a manipulation of the bloodline, so to speak, or who they left behind, who they took, something to that respect. All I know is what I've read. That wasn't laid upon my heart yet, so I guess I need to ask the Lord for that answer, or just help me understand.
He says the Hydra.
That's kind of what I was thinking you might be going with too.
Okay.
So yeah. Yep. Good point though, Wild Man. I mean, there's a lot to ponder on a lot of this. Absolutely. There's a lot. There's so much. It's never ending, right? I know that we don't have to have the answers. We don't have to have all the answers, but it sure helps. It's sure nice to just be able to understand a little bit, isn't it? I mean, I don't claim to have the answers, but
on the Facebook end of this, Candy Nelson said, "Hi, ladies."
Aw, I love my Candy. She is
I got to, you got to meet her too. So did I. She's amazing.
She's amazing. You did too. Yeah, I love her.
Yes.
She is special to me. You guys are all special to me. You guys all held this place in my heart that, I mean, nobody can replace it. It's just all unique, individually different, and wonderful all in the same breath.
And you know what? We're real, and that's the thing. It's very difficult to find real people. Like, I mean, I am so real that people tell me, Trish, you shouldn't put all that out there.
Sometimes I'm too real, and nobody maybe that's why I don't have any friends. Nobody wants to
that's who I am.
Like, but that's not how it is.
That's who I am, and that's how it is. So
I try to tone it down sometimes, just out of, I mean, I guess you could call it a little respect, but so I mean, I'm not going to cower down. I'm not going to tell lies. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even bring a subject up sometimes, maybe, but I'm going to say it like it is too. I'm right there with you on that. You know, I got to be true to me. Otherwise, I'd be a lie like everything else.
And I tried to get help for sure, but then there was a certain little point when I just didn't say nothing, and I just waited to die. Like every night, I think
we were all at that point at one time. Like most of us either had suicidal thoughts at one time. I mean, this is either going to break you or make you in the spirit.
Yes.
I mean, and we're survivors. We're warriors. Like there's a reason we're here. And I think we have a job to do, a duty, a fulfillment. I haven't figured it out all the way, but I know that we were called upon for some reason. So.
Well, I believe that
maybe a fool out of myself. I don't know.
I honestly believe that some of us volunteered for this, and there's some of us that can actually remember volunteering for this. And
you said that, and I've always just kind of known that, like from the moment I was changed with this, because I'm not going to call it an affliction. I'm not going to call it, like destroyed, because it's not going to win. Because that way I just let the disease or whatever you want to call it, this little bad thing, I'd let it win. So I was aware from the moment that happened to me. I knew that these things like this big doesn't happen. There's a significant reason, and a lot of people say, well, no, I mean, it's just like bad things happen to good people. I don't really see it like that, because I believe that this is pretty severe, and there's a purpose for it. Come what may, I don't know what it is, but I do know that I have a job to do, and we were here to help do something. I don't know what. I'm not saying I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like I'm a healer. I don't know what I am. I'm Lisa. My name's Lisa, and I'm here, and I know that the Lord has something for all of us to do. We all have a purpose. We're not here for, and those that are sleeping too, like you have a purpose. We have purpose, but there's something big coming, man. And I've known that from day one. There's something big coming, well, in our lifetime, and I just know we're supposed to be there for it. We're going to be needed. So that's all I know. So call me crazy. Everyone else has. It's okay.
No.
Broad shoulders and big girl panties pulled up to my boobies. So we're good.
Okay. Nobody's going to call you crazy after I tell you that some people are supposed to be able to throw fireballs. There is abilities that we have. Well, yes. Well, okay. But
I mean, I like on YouTube, I've actually not seen it in person, but
well,
I bet
we had like, I would get really angry and light bulbs would burst. There was a time I had to stay away from that. I drained the
I drain batteries all the time, so yes, I believe that. My car battery, every flashlight I would hold. I mean, it was really bad at one time.
Right before I came back here, I was on Lorraine. I keep bringing up Lorraine. Oh my gosh, Lorraine's laptop, and I was being harassed on this side. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And all of a sudden, I turned to that left and I screamed the word enough, and the power went out in half the house. Right at that second.
Yeah, because your energy, your burst of energy, because I've done that. I've actually turned the lights on and off. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, they're so full of it now. Like, now we know they're. No, guys.
But this is part of my, but I believe this part is part of my targeting, because I came home here and I was telling my mom that story about how the power went out and the light bulb burst. As I was simply telling her that story, the light bulb above her head shattered into a million pieces. Now explain that one.
That would be for like, okay, I haven't done that. That's not happened, but I've had the lights go off and flicker on,
like boomed on the ceiling. I'm on the roof, and there's nothing there. And I remember there's one channel, there's one person that talks about this, and that's a guy named Look Out for Charlie. And he talks about how when you're targeted, then they will do that on your roof, and the exact same thing he was talking about happened to us. And
I've heard that from someone else too. The one other person said that you just said.
Like, I feel like listing off these little things that have happened, because I feel like you're going to say you've heard it from somebody, and that'll make me feel better. But I went to
no, I really have. Like, it's so strange. Like the things like that. That's one thing I've noticed with these things that happen. Even if it's not happening to me, like I've either heard at least two people. There was one thing though that you said that I've never heard before. What was it? That was earlier in the night.
Well,
but like that I've heard. So, and this girl stayed with me actually that told me that experienced that. She stayed here with me because she was targeted bad, and she stayed here for a while. So she was the one that told me about that.
You would go to bed at night, and I heard it sounded like coming from under the floor. Sounds like coming from underground, like somebody taking a sledgehammer and bang, bang, banging on metal.
Wow.
Like I would hear.
Does it sound weird if I feel like sometimes I'm walking and the earth feels hollow? Does that sound weird? Because sometimes the earth doesn't feel right.
There's a reason for that.
It doesn't feel right at all.
No,
sometimes, not all the time.
But you can't see it yet. Have you? I don't know if you've done detoxing or not, but it takes 8 weeks, and it's.
I haven't ever made it a full 8 weeks to like get this stuff out of my. I mean, I'm just like it's hard.
I did a parasite cleanse called Nature's Sunshine Paracleanse, and this made all this. See, all this people think is like I'm big or whatever, but all this started coming down on the inside. I started getting real thin. My mom,
the biofilm came out.
Well, whatever it is, the hydrogel, whatever the heck you want to call it, but this.
Yeah, I call it biofilm, but yeah, it's like hydrogel, whatever. It looks like fake skin.
From my head on the inside, like coil after coil
after coil.
And like kind of like being wrapped up like a mummy on the inside, but this was like something wrapped all around my skull, which is what I've described before.
That's what I had. Like that's what I feel. I have this immense pressure with migraines constantly now.
Oh, I have those too, but
horrible.
This came down like coils, and my face started like deforming, if I can put it that way, because I said my jaw got dislocated and my bone. The doctor that I went to see said that in 50 years of practicing medicine, he has never seen a bone transformation like my face. Because I showed him pictures of me before, and you can see me now. It's totally like a different person.
I totally know what you're saying there, because you saw my neck like a cobra. It felt like it had bones in each side.
Yes.
It looked like a cobra neck.
Yeah.
But my face, my jawline changed. My jawline's still not really mine right now. Like my cheeks area is not really mine at all.
So. I will tell you why. There is a verse in the Bible that talks about their worm will not die. If you go see, I'm a studier of etymology, which is the origin of words in English language anyway. And basically, I believe that the original meaning stands. And I will tell you 2 words. The first one is worm. It originally meant serpent.
I do know that, actually. I just saw that the other day on a show that was explaining the origin and the words and what they meant. But that makes so much sense.
If you study etymology, you'll start watching your mouth. Not you, but I mean anybody who's listening.
Yeah, no, like you'll be very careful in how you word things, right?
But this is the thing. I don't want to go in the rapture. I'm going to tell you why. Because do you know what that word originally meant?
Yeah, I heard that the other day. We must have been watching, or I was watching the same thing.
I wasn't watching anything. I've known this for years.
Oh, no. I was thinking, though, that's funny. It's like synchronicity right there, because I just watched something on this.
It meant to rape, seize, and kidnap.
There you go. That's right.
Everybody wants to go in there.
And then the matrix means a woman's womb. I was watching all that. I was like, wow, I was really starting to watch how I worded things just from that. I can't remember what I saw that on. It might have been Leak Project. No, I think it was the scariest movie ever, that channel, because he's got some great stuff. He had a guest on to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have cable or anything, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a YouTube, and then you could go get a Roku. They're like $19.99. That's what I use. I don't have cable.
We just don't have cable. We have if it's on the Roku channel, maybe.
It's a YouTube. It's YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's called The Scariest Movie Ever. It's a channel. He has different things, but it's all kind of like what we're going through.
YouTube on the TV. See, you're telling me stuff I didn't even know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. YouTube's on your TV. Yeah. The Roku has a YouTube channel, and you can watch it on the big screen instead of your little phone. Wow. It's going to make your life a whole different story. Once you figure that out, you're going to love life a little better. I watched YouTube on my phone forever. When I got my Roku, I was like, hallelujah.
Well,
I could see things.
I wonder if there's anybody still watching, because I was going to say, well, I'll ask you.
We have 11 people still watching.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't care if it's somebody from the chat or you. I want you to give me a word. Just one word. I want to prove my point, something that we haven't done before, because...
All right. Like any word, like a description, like an adjective, or just a word?
Well, just a word that we say, like... All
right.
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with this. I don't know.
Targeted.
I was just going to say that. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's weird. Synchronicities. Or like I see the 33s and 11s constantly, and I've always tried to figure that one out.
Okay, so what you want? Targeting, targeted, or target?
Targeting.
Okay, hang on.
It doesn't matter. They're probably about the same.
Probably about the. Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me. All right, here we go. Yep, it's the same thing. Do you know the original meaning of that? After, to use as a target, but it meant to shield something.
Huh. So, like, not actually the receiver or shielding yourself from that, but... okay, so somebody in the audience put a word up there. Anyone watching, type a word in. So she can tell you what the meaning is and her aspect that she's looking at. What is it what's it called again that you're looking at?
Etymology.
Entomology, okay. I've never studied that at all. I'm not genius at all.
I've studied it for years because
that's smart. That's really smart to do.
Because the reason is because what we're saying is spell casting. We are actually the ones that are cursing each other, and we don't realize it, because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt the original meaning of words stands.
I know you can speak things into existence. I do know that.
That's what I'm saying, and it's the same.
Yeah, I've done that. So
Like, for
Too many
example,
times.
if you call somebody, I don't know, it just,
Butthead?
well, okay. But the thing is,
No.
you call
How about
people,
an
like,
asshole? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, an
well,
astrologist. That's what that is. You know, glaucoma, whatever. It's not. You're an astrologist today. I don't even. It's a good word for what I just said.
yes.
Okay. How about just what Hydra?
I just put that in right before you said it.
Nothing. No. How about
No, I mean, I
how about
put the word
Morgellons? Is that
Hydra
in
in.
there? Wouldn't that be
I
crazy
don't
if that
know.
showed
I'll
up?
find out.
Wouldn't that be absolutely nuts though?
By the way, Hydra is a water snake. It meant water snake.
Okay, so that is exactly what it is then. Okay. That would be nuts if that showed up like that.
No.
Or harsh hair. How about harsh hair? As we know, that's another way that was at first
I'm trying
described
to
in the
figure out
beginning.
who even came up with the word Morgellons.
Well, see, here's the weirdest thing in the world. Before I ever even had this, I don't know why I have this vision that I was riding a school bus as a little girl, and the
my
girl
God.
sitting behind me in my seat was always just jumping over, and she was like, "You're a Morgellons, you're a Morgellons," and I don't know if I'm dreaming it, but I mean I had already heard of it, and that's what I just said is what I remember. Somebody saying you're a Morgellons, and she kept pestering me and jumping over and saying you're a Morgellons. I had heard it before, and then that's exactly what I remember, and then here I am 30 something years, 40 something years later. I mean, and then I hear it again. And I was like, holy crap, that was what I was hearing. And I don't think it was an experience in real life. I would think I dreamed or a vision maybe, but that I had heard the name before as a young child, which is odd. That doesn't make sense. And you're a Morgellons. I didn't even know what that meant. So she would say, Beelzebub, you're a Morgellons. She'd say, Beelzebub, you're a Morgellons. I remember those two things she said. I had to look up Beelzebub later on after I remembered that because I was like, what's Beelzebub? And then I realized what that was. And then she was like, you're a Morgellons. So I'll never forget that because it was just, I haven't never forgot it. That word just, I was like, holy crap, I've heard that before. So that's why I'm wondering why they called it that, because there's something to that for some reason. Because it just, I mean, it fits exactly the patterns that I see. Like it sounds right. It fits right. It's like something almost like I knew about it forever and a day. Like something I'm familiar with somehow, but I'm not, if that makes sense.
It does.
I don't know. It's strange.
Now see, we didn't talk about something that, we didn't talk about the fact of okay, so I just looked up where did the word Morgellons come from, and it took me to this BIO warfare place with the
Interesting.
three-letter agency projects. And
interesting.
It's called Naomi.
Okay, so
Naomi.
what do I type in?
Where are you at? I can send this to you. That way I don't have to.
Okay, so if you just sit in my phone even or my email or anyway, because I can probably show this maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna send it right now, so it'll just take a second.
Email. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm. That way you can.
Because I think that would be something that might be worth showing here.
Yeah, me.
Actually, there's no mites about it. Anything is like we gotta learn. They're 2, 5, 6 steps ahead of us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Satan is a crazy magician here. We got to get on board here against him. All right, let me see if I got it here. 1 second. All right, nope, there. Oh, it just came through. I felt my phone vibrate. They call me. Just kidding. Hold on 1 second. Though, I think. Okay, I feel. Call me again. Mm-hmm. My butt's vibrating. Just kidding.
That's right.
All right, so we've got. Let's see. All right, I see this.
And there has also, you know what? I can say this because they declassified it. There was a document from them. What you're going to see on that page, they said.
Not opening. Okay, there we go.
I can see if I can find it, but they said that they created Morgellons disease as a weapon, and it's right there.
I think I've heard something about that. Okay, so I've got it up. I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna add it because I'm gonna read it with everyone that's here. Yeah, I haven't read it, but I thought I heard something about that. So
I saw the document. I'll see if I can find it.
Inbox. Okay, I'm going to pull this up right now. Okay, we're sharing that, but I have to put it up when I get back there. So that's not it. Let me go back to this one. It's still trying to pull up. Oh, okay. All right, so let me pull this up on the big screen here. Here we go. Maybe, hopefully. Okay, it's going to be slow. Of course, when we go to show stuff like this, you notice how everything slows down.
I do.
Okay, so it's going to show. Here we go. Let me see. I'm praying that this shows up. I showed that first, but I had to change the page. Nope, that's me. Hello. And you. Okay, here we go. Maybe that's showing it here. Let me look again because I don't think I put it up all day. No, I didn't. I think because it's slow, I clicked too many times and turned it back off. All right, I think I just did it.
No, that's my neck.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to bring this back here. Now, it's on, right?
I still see the picture of my neck.
Okay, so I guess because you sent it to me in a link, so let me try to share it a different way. I think that's because it was a link versus a picture. Like if it was an attachment, so to speak, like your neck was, it would share it right away. So if I share it in or by a different source, it might. Only one way to find out, right, guys? Let's see here. All right, one more time. I think we can do this. I don't know why I'm on here. I hate watching my.
I found that document.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh my! I have to look again here. Okay, I'm going to do the entire
talking
screen.
about the former Soviet Union's biological warfare program. This is all declassified now, where they said that Morgellons was created as a weapon. They said it out loud, so can I.
So and to think they deny it, but yet there's
they're
evidence.
not anymore. I mean, I don't know. Individuals are denying it now, but the actual, the government. I can say this because the document they declassified it.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. I mean, that's true, but that's what I'm saying. Like here, it's declassified, but yet, like they're still denying everything.
Because they count on the fact that people aren't going to take the time to research and to do their own work. They count on people.
So where am I going on this? I'm sorry to interrupt. It's up now. So
yes,
I'm doing. What do I click on this exactly? Are we?
Do you have a way to go? Scroll down.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure because I haven't been here yet. So
keep scrolling past that gray. That has a lot of good
Okay. Now we're talking. There we go. Okay, so what do we got here?
Woohoo!
All right. So, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on because I'm not touching it. So now I am going back here. Why is it? It keeps trying to move on me. Okay, guys, you see this? You can apparently it's online, but this here it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's delusional. Parasitosis. Talking like a Texan now, and I'm not from Texas. I live there. I don't want to live here. I just have to be. Okay, so it's right here in straight up plain ass words. And so you can take your delusional parasitosis and you can shove it right where you guessed it. The sun doesn't shine ever again for you. I mean, you're welcome. And if you picked on us, you deserve. Okay, I'm not going to say that because I know a lot of people don't understand or there's something wrong. But look at this, guys. So it says McLeod also writes. During the same period, studies of dissemination, delivery systems, meaning of biological weapon.
Yes.
I'm still saying it because algorithm, it's right here online on the internet, so you must have approved of it. So of bioweapons are known to have formed part of the research portfolio of both the C to the I to the A and the chemical dead corpse. You know what we're talking about. An article in Scientific Research by William E. Small alleged that the Smithsonian Institution, I don't know what that is, never heard of it, a partner in the Army's bird projects, was deeply committed to studies in Brazil and Pacific dealing with the mechanisms, Yeah, I thought I jumped a line. Man, all of a sudden my eyes got blurry, and that's of course about right. So dealing with the mechanisms by which what's that? Never heard of that. And blood parasites, what are those? Keywords. That's weird. Are transmitted from the birds. It's okay, blame it on the damn birds, whatever, you mother truckers. And the mammals and insects to man. So it's transmitted from, they are saying, from those to us, but there is this thing called geoengineering, which is actually also written. So algorithm bite me. There's so much. Like, thank you for finding this.
Oh,
Trish.
sure.
Good info. I have never read this. So there's the Morgellons and the C to the I to the A's and the MK Ultra Wet Naomi Project Part 2. Why is this that the U.S. apparatus is standing in the way of any serious medical investigation into Morgellons disease? For the simple reason that it would, inexorably lead to the covert biological war programs. I gotta just sing it there because they'll still try to take it off even though it's here. Of the 1950s. And again, I've always said this has been like probably as long as Kennedy was in office is when I kind of thought this started really going on, but I could be wrong. So Hank Albarelli lifts the veil on a period which may not necessarily be over. So when the military-industrial complex proclaimed to safeguard the free world while testing new experiments in the civilian population, that it proposed to protect a period when members of the medical profession, including the C to the D to the mother treakin', because I sat there for 17 hours one night, developed diseases that they should have been preventing, but which they used instead to contaminate the very people they were supposed to protect. I wonder who those could be.
Yeah.
June 24th, my birthday. That is my birthday, not 2010. I'd be really young, but, well, actually, I could go with that if I had to. So, yeah, on my birthday. Wow, happy birthday, Lise. You are welcome. You got Morgellons disease. You're welcome. You like that, don't you? So we got part one. We got the victims across the U.S. We've got declassified MK to the Ultra T. You know what I'm talking about. You guys remember this link here? So it's, or just put in.
Oh, there it is at the bottom. I think that's it. It says
what's that?
Of declassified MK-Ultra project documents.
Yeah, like RIELPO. Okay, you can put that in too. Or this. You could type this in, right? Any of these words, guys, take your phone out and snap a picture real quick because it's important. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's just us. Don't think it's just us, like, all those poor things, and then go on your merry way. Like, you didn't see it. Like, you guys need to look. It's you too. You have this.
I am going to. I'm sorry to take up time, but I am going to send you one more because something just got under my mouse.
Yeah,
it's on this same page. If you go up to where the gray section is, you're gonna your jaw will drop.
My eye already stopped on it when you told me to keep scrolling. That's why I had stopped earlier. Is right. You there?
I am sending you the second one.
I thought it was this one that I was looking at. That's why I kind of lingered.
Okay. Well,
because there's a lot there. That one too.
Say it. I'm clicking on this. I'm just gonna say it or read it.
Yeah. Go right ahead. But which one what do I click on so people can look to?
This whole entire gray section, it says Brave New World, Psychotronics, Robotics, and DARPA, which is what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's all. It's all in here. Yeah.
It even has.
You just sent it to me again. I got what you're saying.
Warfare.
I got what you're saying. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. I thought it was the same area that you were on. So wait, hold on.
Oh, they have.
I thought it was in that gray area. Did you send me another?
You guys. Yes, I did, but it seems to not go where I want it to.
Hold on. 1 second.
Oh, I don't know why it didn't do what I wanted.
I don't know why mine's suddenly being slow now. It's like, no, you're not showing them. They can't see it. All the more reason to look and try harder. I mean, that's never stops me. That makes me literally determined. But it wasn't already on this one I was on though. I could have found it in that, or because it was already up, and I think that's why it's having such a hard time pulling it up.
It seems, yeah.
If what did it read? And I could have probably just clicked on it maybe.
but I clicked on it and it took me to like all these. Oh wait a minute, all these articles
on a different one. Okay, so here we go. Here, well, it's the same thing. It
metaverse
just brought the
scam.
same thing up.
We're being here we go. The metaverse scam. We're being herded into the matrix.
Okay,
It says,
is this like on regular? Are you pulling this up on regular internet?
Yeah.
I mean, not regular internet. Your like what server are you using?
It's realpolitik.com, but it's spelled funny.
Probably one that the algorithm probably will still try to skull us on because they'll probably see this as not. Because I'm looking at all the titles here, and that tells me that they're gonna jump on me for all this.
Lisa, the first one is one to click on it. The Mind Games 8th Sphere.
This not that one.
It's the first link. With what I sent you.
First link. Well, I mean, it's already there. Like this right here, right? I hope that's what you're saying.
It's Mind Games, the 8th Sphere, the metaverse. We're being herded into the matrix.
I didn't see it say that at all. I see the one that says Mind Games, though. Let's see. Oops.
Oh, that's so weird. Here's and this is
Medicine Wheel remote viewing Mind Games.
Oh.
It's gonna. I mean, like if you can look at the screen and see what I'm showing, like where I'm at, you could probably direct me better.
Okay. It's the link that I sent you, and there's
I mean, this is what came up with the link. Unfortunately, this is it. This is the second link. We were here. I mean, I got both turned in, but I mean, the link comes up the same with just two different blue things highlighted. So
trying to harvest our soul from. I'm trying
to. I mean, this is where it highlighted.
Okay, wait a minute. Right here. Where are you at? Okay, go
if
down.
You just look
go
at
down. Go down. Yeah, I'm looking at
channel.
The screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the heck?
I mean, it says Mind Games and
yes, that's the one.
Okay, I clicked on it once and it just brought me right back
and then go back down. It's right there. I see it. Go down a little bit. Like, whoops.
It just jumped on me. I clicked it again, I guess, and it just, hold on, let me go back down now. I mean, that's what I was, but it said something about remote viewing, and I didn't hear you say that. So
yeah,
I can't
find they're not being.
Okay, so now I'm back here again, and we got that. Okay, so yeah, the 8th Sphere.
That one, yes, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what is this source that we're using here? Because I've never heard of this Realpolitik. I haven't ever heard of that before.
What?
Is that something on the mainstream that like Google or Chrome, all of that has, like, I'm just asking because I got to be careful how we do this.
It is a website you can find by typing it in Google.
Any of them? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Because like whenever that Dr. Carey on the show with about the hide that, I just bleeped some of that out. That you could not find on the mainstream. So
okay,
I had to go to DuckDuckGo for that. Okay, so this is okay.
But if you go down past that picture,
stuff in it.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. You want to click on that top one. That link.
Okay. I was just looking. There's a lot of other stuff. Crazy.
There's tons of information on this site.
Yeah, you can be there. I'm gonna have to definitely. This site is something that I'm gonna have to go back to.
That's the one I clicked on.
Okay, let's go back down here. And my internet's not real fast either. That's a lot of the problem there. Oh, okay. So the 8th Sphere. Why does that sound familiar? That like registered with me for some reason. Something about the 8th Sphere.
It smells like beer in here.
I don't know. I am so sorry, everybody.
What happened?
It's going on 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, it's probably time to shut it. Is it almost? It really is for your time. It sure is. Yeah. Well, it's time to call it an evening anyway. We've been on here forever. So.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that channel with us. That actually is some really good super insight there that we all could use to look at, because it looks like it has a lot of info. A lot. So all right. So let's see. Honestly, it was time anyway. So
yeah,
my daughter
I didn't realize how long
yelled at me and said, "Mommy, get off the phone." or get off the phone. What am I saying? See, I'm tired too. But she usually tells me, you've been on there forever. It's like, you don't understand, Shyla. Nobody else talks to me. So anyways. All right, guys. We are going to hasta luego, señor muchacho nachos, out of here. So I no habla español, es muy malo. Lo siento. Sorry, my Spanish is not real right there. So, all right, dear. I love you, and I appreciate you. We all do, and thank you. We'll do this again. And I'm going to go check that out probably tomorrow. I'm going to hit the hay first. But
thank you so
all right.
much.
You have a good evening. I love you. Bye, guys. We love you.